Blast off! Hello! Live from San Francisco. Welcome to Adobe Live.
Hey.
We are coming from you from San Francisco, but also from space, if you didn't know.
Yeah. Satellite.
We have a 3-minute journey into space, and then we're coming back down. But hello, I'm Phoebe, and this is Jess.
Hey.
Jess is from Chick of All Trades and from Women of Type. And what are we working on today?
So today I'm showing you guys a sketch.
We're done.
Yeah.
We've made
I
it back.
just hear the weird echo.
Touchdown. Back to Earth.
Thank you so much, Katy Perry.
Yeah. We're going to announce our new concert.
Yay!
And our set list.
That's so exciting for everybody watching. So I'm going to show you guys more of like a refined sketch, but essentially a sketch. And then I'm going to just make it into the final piece. And I'm thinking it can look cute on a tote bag, perhaps. I'm also going to be designing in Illustrator Beta. So if you're seeing some tools that you are not familiar with yet, you will be able to be familiar with them sooner than later. Okay, so you might be looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, everything's overlapping. I'm freaking out, Jess. And I'm like, girl, don't worry. That's because my sketch is in layers and we're going to fix all of that. All right, let's get started. Firstly, I'm going to image trace everything. And the new image trace is actually very, very fast, like significantly faster. I don't know if you have tried it
And you drew this on your iPad first.
This was drawn on my iPad. Did you see how that went in like 1 second? Not even 1 second. But this is also available like not just in beta, but regularly. So that's cool. And I'm gonna do silhouettes so it could be transparent. And then I'm just gonna move everything over and I'm gonna do image trace again. Whoop. Silhouette. Expand. Wonderful. And I'm just going to do that to all of the, just kidding. I'm going to do that to all of the layers that I have here. I don't know, can I bulk? Let's see if I can do that. I don't even know if I could do that in the regular Illustrator. If I can bulk image trace? No, I can't. But that's fine.
And what is a silhouette?
Oh, okay. So when you image trace, so I hit image trace and then you have different ways of seeing it. So this is just a black and white image. So there's not like a lot of differentiation, but let's say I hit like line art, it just changes the way that the vector comes out from your raster image that you are, see this one obviously I wouldn't use, that you're using. So silhouette gives me the option, silhouette gives me the option for it to be fully transparent in the background. Hope that helped. It does. I was clear.
Everyone tuning in, maybe you let us know where you're tuning in from, maybe your favorite medium, maybe any questions you have about Illustrator, because we have an amazing expert here who knows a lot of things.
I do know a lot of things. That is true. Whoops. I do know a lot of things. Yeah, let us know where you're tuning in from. Whoops. And what your favorite Adobe product is. And if it's not Illustrator, why? Why is it not Illustrator? Just kidding. If it's not, that's fine. But it should be, because it's my favorite. And I want to match with all my besties. Okay. So now I'm basically just going to put this piece back together, which might be a little bit hard to do because I didn't set this properly, but that's fine. We'll do this together. We'll figure everything out together and everything will be okay. And hopefully I didn't mess everything up. But again, I might have. So the reason that I did things in pieces is because there's a lot of overlapping lines, obviously, but I want my individual illustrations to exist on their own as well, if that makes sense. So like, let's say I wanted just the car with the skirt, I can do that and not worry about getting rid of the things underneath here, and I can just layer everything. Okay, cool. this goes here, and that makes it kind of easy for me to move everything around properly. Okay, let's go here, I think, but it is looking a little, it's hard to puzzle piece this back together, but no worries, all good. I'm gonna start with the hand in the book, and let me just copy that. And I think the best way for me to go about this is to use the paint bucket tool, which is also new to me. A lot of people use it, a lot of illustrators specifically use it all of the time. And I, for some reason, haven't. There's no rhyme or reason as to why I haven't, but I started using it recently for illustrations like this and this specific like bold line style, and I'm liking it.
How do you normally color?
I kind of go about it in like the not correct way, where I just like shape fill and then change the color of those shapes, which is fine. Like that could work, I guess. It doesn't not work, you know? It's just not as easy, I think. You know what I mean? Let's find the paint bucket tool. Where is she?
And so you copy.
Live paint.
I'm just like so into your process. I love
Thanks.
seeing everyone else's process.
Yeah.
So you copy the image off the canvas so you can work with just that, and then you bring it back in.
Yeah, so this is basically going to exist as like my layout, you know, so I can see where everything is. I guess like I probably didn't have to take everything apart and then put it back together and then move everything over, but you know, that's just how I did it. And let's open up, do I have my libraries here? Whoops. Let's open up my libraries. And I'm gonna use my Women of Type library with my colors. Or I also have this, which is like my extra colors. Maybe I'll go ahead with that. Cool. Is that working the way that I wanted to? No, it's not.
You have hello from Miami. How's the weather in Miami? How's the beach? Tell us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit cold here in San Francisco with Carl the Fog.
I just found out about Carl.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Welcome to Carl's world.
Yeah.
We're just living in it.
Yeah, seriously. That's exactly what it feels like. Okay, I'm gonna use the eyedropper tool, and let's make the nails blue, because my nails are blue. No, just kidding, didn't want to do that. Ah, okay. And paint bucket tool, I keep losing it. Should I just do it my regular way that I usually do? Here we go. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna do it my way. Let's do that. And let's make the book that yellow, maybe, perhaps. So we'll do this color yellow, and then what's the Shift M? Okay, cool. We'll come back here. We'll do Shift M, and we'll just start adding color. And I guess, whoops, why does this keep happening? Oh my gosh. Okay, no worries, guys. All good.
If we showed the process without saying whoops, it would be inauthentic.
Very true. And if any of you guys watch my show on Tuesdays, you know that like I'm always just trying to figure it out along the way. That's just how it goes. If I'm only using neither of these, oh, the colors for some reason. Okay, this happens to me sometimes. Do you guys know the answer? Sometimes when I go to like select a color, like from, I don't know, like any color, if I'm within like a group and it's all shaded out, like similar to this, sometimes it'll actually pick up the color and sometimes it won't. I don't know. Mysteries of the deep, am I right? Okay. Add here, and did that not go? Yeah, it did. It did. It's going amazing. And I'm gonna make the pages over here white, and I think I'm gonna make the book pages white as well, because it's not reading the way that I want it to. Great. Oh, is that off-white? Even better. I don't like. What just happened? What just happened? Oh, Oh, it's back. Okay, that was, I was like, whoa. That scared me. Oh, something's happening. Something's happening. Maybe we should move over to not beta for the moment, and then when I specifically want to show beta things, we will go over to that.
Can you control Z it?
I don't think I did anything.
Okay.
I just like zoomed in, but that's okay. It's fine. It happens.
It does happen.
It just happens sometimes. Whoops, that's a lot of artboards. Let's go to beta. Okay, so it's still there, interestingly enough. I'm gonna copy it. And, uh-oh.
Is it just showing up as white?
Yeah. Copy? Can I copy from beta to regular? Oh, no, it's there. Okay, great. So let's try the entire one, the entire thing. There we go. Okay, great. No worries, everyone. We're good. Okay, amazing. We fixed it. If there's one thing about Adobe products, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix the problem. They're gonna fix my life. Adobe's gonna fix my life. Don't worry, everyone. Okay, great. So we have the first part down, and then I think I wanna do, let's do the charm bracelet, because we're gonna do everything in correct.
And what was your inspiration for this piece?
Well, it's still Pride, you know. And my inspiration for the piece itself, these are kind of just like images and motifs that I like wanted an excuse to illustrate either way. I was like, it would be cool to do a race car. Okay, let's do a race car with a pride flag on it. Okay. Lately I've been enjoying drawing hands in this style because they're so much easier. Like drawing hands in general is really hard. But if you do it in a style that's fun and easy, then it becomes fun and easy. Life hack, make everything fun and easy for yourself. So yeah, that was my inspo. And then, I don't know, the book, I don't know. We like to read, I guess. We know how and we like to read.
We know how to read.
Yeah. I think. When I say I think, I'm speaking for myself.
Bree says they're tuning in from Maui, and
Ooh,
they
cool.
also think that Adobe is going to fix their life.
Yeah.
So we love that.
Exactly.
What are we taking away from the stream? Adobe is going to fix our life.
Adobe
It's a tall order.
But they could do it. Oh, Carol says save. You know what? You're right. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to live life on the edge. Okay.
Ooh, what color is the race car?
I'm going to make it red.
Okay.
Because that just feels right,
Yep,
you know? And let's do... So, again, this is not the proper way to do it, just filling everything in with a single color. But that's how I'm going to do it, because I can. Who's going to stop me? No one.
Tuning in from Ireland.
Cool. Yeah, we got worldwide over here. Mr. Worldwide. Oops. Okay, and fill these in. And don't worry, I'm going to change the colors here. So yeah, typically this would be my process for, oh, should we do yellow? Yeah, let's make that yellow. This would be my process if I'm illustrating something for myself or a client, whatever. But I would probably take some more time to like experiment with tools, but you know, for the sake of time or sake of lack of time that we have, I'm just trying to get through this quick, because if anyone before has seen me stream, you know that I tend to run out of time pretty quick every time, and that's okay. And that's fine. Is this being recorded? Yes, it is. I have another meeting soon. Yeah, Mary. So everything that you see on Adobe Live is always recorded, and you can always come back and watch later, and I would love it if you did. That would be wonderful.
It's on our YouTube and our Behance. And anywhere else?
Probably other places. Yeah. Probably some other spots. I'm not sure where. Okay. So here, I want these underneath to have like a like a smoky-ish color. I don't know what that would be. But obviously, like, there aren't any closed paths on this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of like draw the shape underneath and then edit that myself. So let's do this blue color. Whoa, why'd that blue color
Do you
not
make
work?
like a new layer for that?
You know, I don't really work in layers that way like a lot of people do. I'm just kind of like send it backwards. I'm kind of like, let's do it quick, fast, easy, and fix it later. Okay, so we got this. And whoops. Here we go. Get rid of that. Send that to back. Great. So now this kind of exists just underneath these lines, and that's how they're going to be. And I'm happy with it. Got to make some edits. I'm actually really excited to show you guys the updated pen tool, because again, if you've ever watched me design, I hate the pen tool, but let's actually go to it real quick. It's still in beta. Hopefully this doesn't all disappear. So usually I'll use the curvature tool to design something. Can you see the line here? Yeah, you can. I'll just make it really thick. I'll go, oh, okay, I have like this, and that's kind of a heart. Oh, what'd I do? Oops. Here we have like this heart, great. It's not really a heart, sort of, whatever. Okay, I don't know why it keeps disappearing. Maybe it's because, you know, beta's updating, etc. But with the new pen tool, or I think it's called, what is it called? The quick pen tool, it gives me the option to kind of just literally go with the flow. Also, if I hold down option and like scroll, I can do this and that. And then you go through one, like if you hold down the one key or like switch through the different modes, and you could see that over here. So that's fun. And then if you want to switch the direction. So for someone like me that really doesn't like the pen tool, this is extremely helpful.
How do you switch direction? What key are you pressing?
2.
Okay.
2 goes back and forth. And then this is also something that I recently discovered when playing around. Is it showing up? For some reason it isn't working at the moment. But, oh, there we go. Okay, so just a little, oh! I guess you need to be like really zoomed in there currently for it to work. But you could play with these arrows and move things up and down and around, and I think that's really cool and fun also, and just like a really interesting way of playing with the pen versus before. Like I just don't have a good experience with the regular pen tool. That's all I'm going to say on that. Now let's move back to my little clouds, my happy little clouds, my little clouds that love everything. Okay. Yeah, so I want it to kind of look like the race car is scorched, doing its thing. Let's see what's going on in chat. Layers are your friends. Listen, I know that they're supposed to be my friends, and I don't dislike them. I'm a type B girly, all right? Like this is just who I am, and the layers accept me and love me for who I am, okay?
Some people like name all their layers.
Can't relate, won't do it.
And that's a lot.
Can't relate, won't do it, unless I'm doing like, obviously with client work it's so different, but I try to not have to do
With client work, do you label all your layers?
It really depends on the project. Like, if I absolutely have to, I will. But if it's not, a lot of times the client doesn't necessarily request the working file. So I don't know, or even if they do, they don't need it in layers. Like the layers don't matter to them. I think obviously with printing, that's going to be a lot, like pretty different. I don't work a lot in print. I'm primarily digital, although I wouldn't be opposed to print. But either way, it's not something that I usually have to worry about, and so I don't usually worry about it. And when I do have to worry about it, that's when I worry about it, you know? That's the logic I'm rocking with.
Fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
So we're going to leave this like that.
Love it.
And let's make my life easier and just kind of like start off with a little blob here. Skirt. That's the sound that the car is making.
Sound effects.
Yeah.
Monica says, I will never name files unless someone else is going to see them.
Yeah.
Fair?
Oh, well, wait, files or layers?
They
Because
said files.
a lot of times my files will just be like not real words, but that's also if I'm not working on like a real project and just something kind of like fun for myself. I try to name it. But definitely I name my files for the most part. The layers, no, definitely not. I'm late. What's going on with these clouds? I will never, okay. Same comment. Okay,
Yeah.
So Monica, I'm actually doing this pride illustration in Illustrator. Started off as like kind of like a messy-ish sketch. I image traced it. It was super fast. I don't know if you guys, I almost want to bring in like a heavy-duty image so you guys can see how much faster it goes now. And it's great. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, I think like the final for this, I don't know. Do you guys want to vote in the chat? Like where should it go? Should it be like a tote bag, a print? We can wait till later to find out as well. Not necessary to get all decisive at the moment.
So do you just fill them in with black first and then you pull from the palette?
Like, yeah, I would say that's probably not the proper way to do it. It's just what I'm finding easiest to do for myself right now. Okay.
Monica says that they meant layers, but I do usually export my artboards unnamed.
Oh, artboards are also hard, yeah.
Fair. Isa says that they want a t-shirt.
Ooh, a t-shirt. Okay, wait, let me write this down. We got t-shirt. Oh.
Or notebook.
Ooh. Tote bag, notebook, and maybe sticker? Sean says no polls. Trying to give Cody a break. You know what, Sean? That's Cody's job. All right. So, Cody, love you. Thank you so much. But you know that if you're having me on, if you're gonna give me the option to have a poll, I'm gonna do a poll. So if we can get a poll, please. If you want to see this on a t-shirt, tote bag, notebook, or sticker. And I will say, I was going to say if you want to give Cody less work, but that would actually be less work for me. It would be the sticker. But I'm okay to do any one of them. That's the truth. Jeff wants a recap on what I am creating. So I brought in this sketch. I vectorized it with the image trace tool. Oh, excuse my voice for a second. And now I am adding color. And unfortunately for Cody, I'm asking for a poll. Sorry, my brain just got a little crazy. Thank you so much for helping me out there. Wow. I should have some coffee. Hold on.
Sip of coffee. If you're just tuning in, tell us where you are tuning in from, and we are answering the poll if you want this amazing design on a t-shirt, a tote bag, a notebook, or a sticker.
Yes. Amazing. And I saw another comment. Oh, Ted. Hi, Ted. Ted's here. What's up? Okay. So also what I'm doing is this is like the full illustration, but you know, there are a lot of overlapping lines. Maybe I should show you guys how it's going to look without that. But I'm grabbing these illustrations separately and, I'm grabbing these illustrations separately and then going to like add them back in as they are finished.
I didn't know you could make an actual poll.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm very big on the polls. Love doing all that. Apparently Sean doesn't, but that's okay, Sean. We still love that you're here. Okay. I think I'm not going to worry about this. I need to worry about my timeline. Hold on. Okay. let's grab, I don't know, what should we do next? The roses, perhaps? Yeah, let's do the roses.
You did say the charm bracelet a long time ago.
I know, but I realized what I have to do with the charm bracelet. I think I'm going to like make a custom brush for it, which could be, you know, it'll be interesting for me to show all you guys, and that'll take some time. So I'd rather like get the main colors in first. So you see over here that this is not a closed path. Like these are acting as individual shapes. So the way that I'm going to do that is just kind of like just make a closed path over here. You're like, oh, Jess, that's not a closed path. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I'm just going to make this one shape. And now we can do it. Great. Cool. So I'm going to fill it in with the black. I don't know. You know, you guys, I know, oh, paint bucket tool, whatever. I'm set in my ways, all right? That's just how it is. I can't.
Could you fill in that shape and then get rid of that little end guy?
I could erase it, yeah.
Okay, just erase it. And it would just hold the color inside, though.
Yes. Yeah. But if you want to use the shape builder tool, as well as the paint bucket tool, it needs to be a closed path. So usually if it was something like this, this would be the stroke, which would be like this, you know. And I know it's not like perfectly even, but that's okay. Imperfection is fine. It's perfectly imperfect. Okay. And then we got this over here as well. I was considering for this piece also creating a custom brush for the thorns, the rose and thorns and whatever, but I felt like it, I don't know, maybe would take up too much time. But if we have time later, we can do that extra. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna select all these and turn it green.
Monica asks, there's a paint bucket tool in Illustrator? I swear I look for one and never see it.
Yeah, it's a bit hidden. So if you go in here, and you can like customize your toolbar, toolbox, whatever.
That's at the bottom of the tool.
Yeah, I just don't use it often. So is it, oh wait, I need to, hold on. Let's ungroup these. Ungroup all. That's also a new feature, the ungroup all, which Adobe never made a big deal about it, but I feel like you guys really should, because that is a great tool to have. Paint bucket. Where art thou, paint bucket? Okay, right here. Live paint bucket. Oh, I guess I could just hit K. Cool. Ta-da! But I'm like, oh, I want the color. Wait, no, sorry. Okay, I for the color. And now this. K. And now. Okay, I don't know, whatever. It's there. Like I said, I don't use it often. So I don't want to be like, yeah, this is how you do it, and then I did it incorrectly. Oh, I think you hit K, and then I hit I for eyedropper. No? Okay, fine, whatever. I've yet to master it, clearly. But that doesn't matter, because you guys can master it. And that's what counts.
Like, what would be the difference between the paint bucket and what you're doing?
I think just the way that the shape exists, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. If anybody knows, let us know. I think paint bucket, if I'm doing it incorrectly, obviously it's not going the way that I want it to, but if you do it correctly, I think it should automatically just like do the colors versus shape builder. It's meant specifically for shapes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like it's
sure,
the same
whatever.
to me, but it seems like your system is working great.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if it works, right? Okay, the lips. Should we make them red?
How's that poll going, y'all?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at that poll. Oh, wait, click to make live paint group. Okay, but what if I want a different color? See?
Yeah, it's just doing the outlines.
Huh. Okay. Well, I think maybe it makes it a live paint group. Like, that's the thing of it. I don't know. Question, very important question. Do you guys want red lips or pink lips? Quickly.
Can we zoom out? Let's see the design.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like anything yet. Yeah.
Well, we have some pink hearts. We have some red roses, some red cars. Is the lipstick going to be the same color as the lipstick? As the lips?
Yes. That is a great question, and the answer is yes.
I think pink.
Okay, great. And we can always change it. That's the
We have
beauty.
2 for pink, 1 for red, 3 for pink. Okay, pink it is.
Cool. Love it. I'm wearing like a pinkish lip tint today as well, so it matches. Great. We're going in a really nice pace. We're going at a really nice speed. I wish I could take all of the credit for that, but I feel like these updates are just going real fast.
Adobe's gonna fix our life.
They already have, kind of.
Rachel says, "How about orange lips?"
I'm
I don't know.
trying
I think we're
to
vetoed
use...
on that.
What?
I think we've already gone with the pink.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to use like mostly like these 2 palettes ish, you know.
And why is it helpful to have a palette?
If you're trying to keep everything relatively on brand, if you want everything to be cohesive, I know that seems kind of crazy to hear when I have all of these colors, but these extra colors are all offshoots of the main colors. So yeah, the truth is, I have a very hard time keeping things like not going crazy with everything. I love color. I love getting like insane with it. But I'm trying to be a good influence. So,
As an illustrator or as a business or brand, that palette is really important.
yeah, that's true too. When I work with brands versus working just like for myself, which I actually don't do a ton of branding work. Having that palette is really good to rein me in, because I'm always like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to add different things, and I'm like, ooh, can't. Okay.
It also helps with decision fatigue for sure, because then you could be in the little rainbow circle of death trying to find the perfect color for hours.
Yep. Absolutely.
And if you're just tuning in, I'm Phoebe. You can follow me on the gram at GirlGangCraft.
Woohoo.
And we have Jess from Chick of All Trades and Women of Type.
Yes. On Instagram, it is Chick of All Trade without an S,
Without
because
the S.
someone took that account and there was nothing I could do about it.
So Chick of All Trade.
Trade, yes. That is correct. Whoops.
Yes.
Instead of the standard pride flag, shout out to me, I'm going to do the bi flag. And it's not going to be the exact colors because I don't have those in the palette. I also don't know if I don't know if this is in the correct order. We'll find out.
Good luck.
Yeah, you let me know.
What about the light blue? Isn't it the more light
I think
blue?
it's, well, I know it's
maybe
like
not.
pink, blue, and purple, but I'm not sure of like the order. Well, you know what? You guys get the point, and I know.
Bi flag. Oh, you're right. It is.
Oh, okay.
It's like a dark purple.
I'm just gonna do
blue.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Whoops. Whoops is, I think, the word of the day. Whoops. Uh-oh. Great. Whoop. Oh
Jeff has a question.
Yes.
How long does it normally take for you to come from idea to finished?
That is a really good question. It depends on the project. Sometimes it'll be super quick and I'll just like create in the moment and I'm like, okay, great, done, perfect. And then sometimes it'll take me a whole day. Sometimes it could take me weeks even, because if it's something that I'm like a personal project and I really just want to like sit on it and I have like kind of an idea but not a full, nothing that's like fully fleshed out. Yeah, it depends on the project. If it's client work, it's whatever their deadline says. You know, you guys want it yesterday, That's fine. There's going to be a rush fee, though. I could get it to you yesterday, but there's gonna be a Back to the Future fee.
Yeah, I feel like there's some projects that just take up so much more space in your brain.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some projects that don't, and the brain space is the,
Yeah.
the long time
Totally.
process.
I feel like, for me at least, one of my goals is to really only take on projects that don't take up space in my brain, in the sense where, like, I don't want it to be, like, bothering me or something that I'm thinking about all the time. More of, like I'm doing this because I love it, not because I'm like, oh, I have to. But, like, also got to pay the bills. Also, I think these are going to be red. Sorry.
We are switching the lips and lipstick.
Yeah, sorry. This is not an episode of Making Decisions. This is an episode of Jess Makes Decisions.
Oh, I love it. Emily's on the chat. Hi, Emily.
Hey, girly. So
Dream
good to
team.
see you.
Hi.
Yes. Okay, where are we up to
What's
next? Great question. We did this. Okay, let's do Pride is for Everyone. And did we do, like, almost all of the elements already?
Yeah.
I'm going to add, like, a lot of details later on. So this I drew out. I kind of, like, there was a font that I was using that I really liked. I don't know if I even have it here. But, okay, here's the thing. I kind of like that it looks handwritten. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
I want to keep it that way. So I'm not going to
But you did use a font and then you traced over it.
I didn't trace it. I saw the font and I said, that's cool. Let me base this off of it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think a handwritten font, like, always just looks so good when the rest of the design is.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like, oh, that part of it is
Yeah.
super polished and the rest of it looks hand done.
Although I am going in the opposite direction for the next hour.
That's
so.
okay. That's great. You got to do your thing. Okay. Just going to fill this.
Sometimes I, like, judge my handwritten fonts so hard. Like, I feel like I'm more happy with my illustrations, and then when I get to font, I'm like, oof, that's rough.
I hear you. I mean, I also feel like we are all so much more judgmental on ourselves than we are on, like, other people's work. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Monica says time travel costs triple.
Yes.
It's true.
So true.
Yeah. And we've also got some poll
Oh,
results.
nice.
So we've got Notebook leading the pack at 60%.
Woo, go
T-shirt
really?
for 20%.
Huh.
Tote bag, 20%. Stickers, 0.
That's crazy. I would have thought this would have gone all the way with tote bag. Wild. Okay, cool.
We love it. We
Yeah.
love a different sort of merch.
Yeah. We're going to do offset path here, but we're actually going to go into the negatives. And let's see. I might need to do, like, significantly less. 0, 0. Let's do 1.
Bree says that they love handwriting lettering.
Handwritten.
Handwriting. Yes.
Handwritten lettering. This came out a little bit janky, so we're just gonna kind of size that down. Let's do 1 and just erase in the spots that we don't want it, where it's, like, extra attached. And I could fix this afterwards, but I just want the idea to come across for right now. Okay, great. Wonderful.
Wait, you're erasing that and then it magically creates the lines for you?
Well, the lines are already there. I offset the path.
Okay. got
So
it.
I know that I have to fix some stuff here, but I just kind of just wanted it to...
You offset the path because you have to fill it in because you're creating outlines.
I did negative offset path. So usually when you offset a path, it gives it an outline. I gave it, like, an inline sort of thing, you know? Yeah. If it makes sense. Okay. I think we have... Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, we have this and the word love.
I am personally newer to Illustrator. I am an Adobe Express ambassador, But Illustrator, I am dabbling in, so I love to just see everyone else's like
Love
methods and learn from it. So cool.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Oh, not artboards. Also, I don't need this many artboards.
Monica says typing is hard when you keep looking at what Jess is doing on the screen.
That is true.
Fair.
That is very true. And I'm going to lower this opacity a bit. Let's make it like 13. I'm also going to move all this over and lock that. So now we can see where everything goes. Great. Okay. This goes here. And now we can start putting everything in place. And then once everything's in place and everything is colored properly, I can start adding a little bit more details.
Yeah, the charm bracelet.
Yes, yes. We didn't forget the charm bracelet. Don't worry. That I just feel like is going to be its whole, like, its own thing. But don't worry. It's happening.
Bree says that they love Adobe Express and Photoshop Express. They are my go-tos for everything. Love it.
Love to hear it.
And Monica says, I finally played with Express on my phone. It works so much better than the first time I tried it.
Yeah.
Express has been through a lot.
We were just talking about that, how it really has made like insane improvements over the last however long it's been.
Yeah. It's a great tool for taking this illustration and putting it on your social media in some sort of graphic video situation.
Maybe if we have time, I can bring it in to Express and make it move on my next stream. Yeah. And I'm going to lower the opacity here. So it's like, you know? Okay. Now, where are the rest of my things? Where are my things? Got this going on here. Beautiful, gorgeous. And this right there. Ugh.
And then how do you get the underline away after you
I could just hide the layer.
Oh, that was your layer.
Yeah.
So you did use a layer in this case.
Yes, in this case I did use a layer. I'm not anti-layer. Let's be clear. I'm not anti-layer. Yeah, that's all. That's all. And let's make this, I don't know what color we should make this. Maybe the yellow. Send that to back. How are we doing on time? How am I?
You know, we got 15 minutes, maybe 10.
Okay, not bad. No, that's fine, because I'm doing a second stream, so like I can get into like the nitty-gritty details of it all.
Oh, so you're doing the same image.
Same image, yeah. So like I just got the first part of it mostly done. I still have to do the stars. Not news to anyone here. I'm obsessed with the star tool. That is my favorite tool that I've ever used.
The star tool.
Oh.
Show us.
Girl, do you not know?
No.
Oh my God. Oh, you wanted a star? I got you. Oh, you wanted more star?
Oh
You
my
wanted
God.
a flower?
Wait.
You wanted...
How are you doing that? Are you just moving it along the line?
Yeah, it's the live star tool. Isn't it so great?
How do you do the 4-star?
You can...
Wow. Oh.
I know. No, literally, wow.
Wow.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite tool. But for the sake of these things being hand drawn, I am going to use my hand drawn stars, my little sparkles. And in case everybody is freaking out, oh my God, Jess, what about the bracelet? We're gonna do the bracelet, guys. Oh my God, everybody. Don't worry.
Holding our breath over here.
Yeah. Everyone's so nervous about the bracelet. We're doing the bracelet.
We do love a bracelet moment.
Yeah.
We love a charm bracelet.
I have a charm necklace that I usually wear. I'm not wearing it today. But
I'm not wearing my jewelry today either.
We matched. We decided to match and nobody's wearing their jewelry today. Great. I feel like these should not be yellow. Or maybe the book doesn't need to be yellow. There's too much yellow is what I'm trying to say. There's too much yellow here. So
what about purple book?
yeah, I like that. And also, chat, what color should the background be? Because if we're putting this on a notebook, we need, Emily said, more stars, Star Girl. Yeah, I am Star Girl. Yeah, or maybe we can also grab from this palette. Yeah, let me know what color you guys are thinking for the background. And maybe we don't have to use the palette for that. Let's go crazy.
You could do the light purple for the background.
For like this purple, you mean? Okay, let me change this first. To here. Whoops. Okay. We have this. There's something about this that isn't sitting well with me. I think what I want to do, and don't try this at home, kids, because this is, oops. Uh-oh, I don't know what I just did. This is incorrect. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of that blue. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Picking up what I'm putting down. And there we go. So it's not see-through. But I think, actually, hold on. Wait, let's go back a second. Gradient. I think we can gradient it. Yeah. So, wait. Let's gradient this. Whoops. And gradient that. Look at that. And then over here, wait. I'm so confused. What did I just do?
I don't know.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay, the whole thing is at 49%. Got it. So now this will bring to 30%. Bring it up. Look at that beautifully smooth gradient. Gorgeous. I think I want.
You want it the other way though, maybe, right?
No, because I want it to cover the book, but I don't want it to cover the car.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that I think, no, we can.
I was just thinking the exhaust would be more intense from the car.
You would, yeah, no, you would be.
Where my mind
You would
went.
be right. You would be right. We have a mechanic in the house, everyone. No, you would be correct. But this is
art.
Yeah, this is art. That's science.
This is not. We're not driving race cars. We're not fixing race cars.
Exactly. Maybe next episode. Watch me drive a race car.
And then we're doing the opposite from the front car, so.
Yeah, exactly. So everything makes sense. Exactly.
Wouldn't
You
the
get
exhaust
it.
be behind the car? See, these are questions. These are real questions.
Okay. Well, we can make that, actually. We can make that happen. Here we go.
I don't know. I kind of liked it from the. I don't know.
Okay. Do we have any race car drivers in the house? Woohoo! Got any race car drivers in the house? Let's go. I'm gonna send that behind, a little lower.
So, are you keeping the book?
No. I don't know why I think I accidentally changed it to. Okay. I do feel like it's missing pink, and maybe that's just because I'm obsessed with pink. So let's see.
Can we do a light pink?
We sure can. I don't hate the purple, actually, but I like pink.
I like the pink. I almost want a lighter pink.
Like lighter like that. Lighter than this?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
like that?
Darker. A little darker.
Like that? No. Kidding. Oh, actually,
Kinda looks good.
I kind of like it.
This is where we could spend an hour
Yeah.
finding
Or like
a
which
different
exact
pink.
shade.
That looks cool.
And I think what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to get rid of the white because I'm realizing I made a mistake there. And I have a better idea.
Isa says that they like to play at the Porsche experience. Does that count?
What is that?
Yeah.
What's the Porsche? Okay, also, is it Porsche or Porsche?
Porsche?
Porsche. What's the Porsche experience? I'm assuming it's just like you can drive around.
Does it mean you are a race car driver? Maybe.
Perhaps.
More than us.
Yeah, definitely more than I am. I don't even know what direction the smoke goes in, you know? Okay.
Do you drive in New York?
I do.
Okay.
I do. My in-laws live in the suburbs, and that is kind of the only way that we can get to them.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 dogs, and I could take the train by myself, but I can't take the train with my dogs.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to take them. Well, it's because I don't want to take them, but they're also not very well behaved.
What kind of dogs do you have?
They're 2 pugs. Their names are
Cute.
Ruby and Stanley Tucci.
So you could technically take them in a bag on the train, right?
Yeah,
That's the
like no
rule or
one.
whatever.
Yeah, like no one's gonna stop me. But like they would just bark at everyone.
Yeah. Isis says at the Porsche experience, you get to drive around in their cars on a closed course.
That's cool. Where is
That
that?
feels like you are a race car driver.
Yeah.
That feels at least like you're the closest one on the chat.
Yeah, right?
Like,
So, with that being said, what direction does the smoke go in? That's great. All right. And I think I want... Just gonna add in this. Whoops. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. You see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Usually with something like this, I would use the blend tool. But, I don't know. Let's try something new, you know?
So you're just like making another shape basically. And
Yeah,
it
and
doesn't matter if it connects because it's just all black.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to connect it
Oh, you
afterwards.
are?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the truth is, it doesn't matter if it connects or not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, and I want to add...
So we just have, what, a few more minutes?
Oh, shoot.
3 more minutes.
Wow. Time flies when you're on Adobe Live. Really does. Oh, I ruined everything? Okay, great. Right before the buzzer.
Yeah, the teal's nice. The teal is
I'm
good.
going to bring that up.
I just like would immediately think that should be rainbow, but like that's wrong.
So here's the thing about me and Pride. I don't do like the whole rainbow of it all.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
my personal preference. But like, also, I guess maybe I should have used mostly of these colors if I wanted to. Oh wait, I could have used white for these. What's wrong with me? Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I don't love the like rainbow of it all. I prefer. That looks better to me. Yeah.
Non-rainbow.
Yeah.
Fair. We prefer on brand. Rainbow
On
is not
brand.
necessarily the palette
It's just
the-
it's just not
of the
for,
Illustrator.
for mine.
Kyle says save your file.
Kyle, you're right. Leave me alone. Kyle, you're 100% right. File. We'll do save as. Save to Creative Cloud, and let's do Pride is for everyone. Adobe Live.
And
Save.
we're going to return in 2 hours to keep working on this.
Oh yeah. So next up, am I hosting you next?
I think Raymond
let's
is.
see. Okay, Raymond Alva is going to be hosting you next to be designing summer merch and a promo. Oh, that's fun. I'm going to watch that. And then I'm going to be hosting Raymond, and then I'll be back, and we'll be back to finish up this project. Oh, that's fun. I'm excited.
So
Thanks for
fun.
watching, guys. Thanks for following along.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you soon. Bye.
We are gonna work on some holiday sales. We're gonna use this like very aesthetically pleasing template to start off. So I went ahead and pre-uploaded some of our product photos, and we're gonna replace, and we're just gonna fill out all of these. Go ahead and write something on this. We're just gonna write holiday gifts. We're gonna keep it simple. I would go ahead and group these little pieces. I'm doing different animations for all of them. You want to grab people's attention quickly, and then you want to keep people's attention. So I'm gonna make this scene 2.5 seconds, and then we're gonna add another scene. We're gonna focus on each of these images as like the star of their scene. So I'm gonna try and find a different like Polaroid asset, and you can just type in Polaroid. So I like this one. This feels like we're gonna see a little bit more of the product. You could just see this side little situation, your toolkit. You can just literally move the Polaroid in front.
Mm-hmm.
And
Make
there
it
you
fit
go.
in there. Nice.
And you could decide to group this if you want to animate it again. And I am gonna go ahead and animate it. So I am writing what the product is.
Okay.
We call this the Divinity sweatshirt.
Yes, yes.
And we're gonna add a scene. And I'm just gonna duplicate this, but I'm gonna do something maybe a little different. Okay, so we're going back to media. We're going to photos. We're gonna do a sky blue. Blue sky it is. Effects.
Something pink-ish there.
So smart. Absolutely. I love that. Change it to my brand colors.
Ooh, so you go down effect, you can change the color filter on it.
See, that's
pretty
what I
simple.
want. Back to our library, our stuff. And we're gonna go back to this scene. I kind of wanna see if I can get this flower match sort of hovering. So I can erase this other stuff too. So let's see, I want to find some like stripes. Squiggle. And design asset squiggle then, yep.
Oh, there you go.
So we're gonna change that color.
Cool.
And then we're gonna make this like super spinny. Let's see, we're dropping in and then how it gets out to tumble out. That's so funny.
It's like, bye. Like, wee.
You can also pull your own videos here. So I have a good product video. So I'm just gonna upload that right now. You can show your layered timing. So like I actually want the holiday gifts coming in last. So I'm selecting this, the text, and then you can make it come in later. But so then the holiday gift comes in.
Oh, nice.
This is a wild piece of content, y'all.
No, this is the best. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.
What's up, guys? My name is Raymond Alva, and welcome back to Adobe Live. We are here in San Francisco in the Adobe offices. Next to me, I have Phoebe from Girl Gang Craft. She's got a fun day planned out for us. I'm gonna let her take it away, explain what she's gonna do. But before that, if you guys are tuning in from somewhere, make sure you let us know in the chat, let us know where you're from. And always, if you have questions, let us know. So, Phoebe, how you feeling?
I'm good. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Excited to be here. We just did a fun stream with Jess, all in Illustrator. And I'm going to do some Illustrator, and we're going to hop into Adobe Express. We are going to make some summer merch.
Nice.
You can really already see all my projects there.
Sick.
It's just like
Little BTS.
recoloring of my logo a million times, but that's fine. Yeah, we are making some summer merch, and then we are going to make a mock-up in Adobe Illustrator, which is really easy to do now, which is so exciting. And then we're going to pull it into Adobe Express to market it, to make a reel, to make like an animated situation, with the idea that this could be a way that you get pre-orders, right? So instead of, getting the inventory and not know how much you're going to sell, you could see the vibe, see the image, see the product beforehand, and then, get those orders in that way. So
Save some money. Don't
Save
print
some
at
money.
first.
Yep.
Get a feel for the ground. Awesome.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so we are going to start a new file.
Cool.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what we're going to do. First step, blank page.
And I always forget the streams make my computer just like
A tiny
everything
bit
is
smaller. Yeah,
like,
I feel that.
What's happening? So I pulled this. I made this image on my iPad first.
Sick.
I'm just gonna pull it in here.
So this is kind of just a full-on package right now. We got illustrations, we're going to do mock-ups, and we're going to do marketing.
Yes.
I love
yes.
this.
And different than what we just did with Jess. She was working with black and white and colored it in Illustrator. I colored this on my iPad first, and then I'm bringing it in. So this is a PNG right now. So we definitely want to make sure that we vectorize it for the mock-up, for working. And you could change the color here also. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to image trace. And I'm going to pull up my notes too so I don't miss anything
Awesome.
that we're talking about. Yeah.
Sweet. Looks like we got some people in the chat. We got Robert. We got Jeff. Virtual high five. Emily's in here. What's up, Emily? And then we also have Bree from Danville, California. So got some people coming in. If you're just tuning in, we're here with Phoebe from Girl Gang Craft, and she's going to be walking us through some different mock-up techniques, some different marketing techniques, and different programs. So yeah, if you have any questions for me or for Phoebe, let us know.
And I just pulled up the image trace panel. I'm making sure that it's color instead of black and white because that's going to give us a totally different situation.
Nice.
It's going to take a couple seconds.
So we have Monica in the chat asking, what program did you draw these in?
On my iPad, in a different program that
Gotcha.
thou shall not name for a second.
Gotcha.
But yeah. And then so we are traced. And then I'm going to ungroup it and group each little icon separately. So we could like play around with how it is. But I'm going to delete the background. And we're going to group with a lemon together. But like alternatively, if I didn't want to group it, and let's say like I didn't like this green, I could come in here
switch it up a little bit.
Change the
Nice.
green. You know, I wasn't really working with a super strict palette here, and we were just talking about in the last hour how palettes are really important. But I do have the same reds working here. This is the same pink. I think we have all of these white little in-betweens still here, so I want to make sure that those are
Don't show
deleted.
up. Yeah.
I'm just clicking in and deleting them.
All the tedious little things.
Yeah, I think these don't exist, so that's good.
Nice.
And this guy.
Oh, there might be a little one under the bow in between the stems.
Thank you.
Sneaky boy.
Perfect. And then again, like we could recolor this pink if we didn't like it.
Nice. And I like how you mentioned that you're not sticking to a color palette, because I think for some projects that's important. You know, the freedom and the experimentation, that's definitely part of it. And I think we don't want to keep ourselves with rules all the time. So
Totally. It could depend on the day, on the second. Are we working with a palette? Are we not? But so I'm going to go ahead and just group these. And group my little ice cream. I tried to think about things that I would eat in the summer.
totally. Yeah.
So
Fits the vibe.
We've got...
I mean, I don't know about the flowers. I don't know if we'd eat those
we don't eat
in
the
the summer,
flowers.
but I definitely see that with
But
the ice cream.
We needed... yeah. Anyways.
Nice.
Colorful things. And then, let's see. We're just going to add some text. Let's see, summer loving. Make that bigger.
Nice.
And if you're tuning in, tell us where you're tuning in from. It's always so fun.
Yeah, we got some California. Let's see. Where else we coming in from? Where are you coming in? Do you live in San Francisco, Phoebe?
So I'm from here originally, but
Nice.
now I live in Salem, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and how about you?
I am from Riverside, California. So Southern California, pretty close to LA. So
Do you come up here a lot?
not a ton. I was talking with my Uber driver this morning, and I don't think I've been to San Francisco in like 10 years or something like that. So it's been a minute. Yeah.
Welcome back. I don't know, I just kind of like this font. This was not my original
I like
plan,
that.
but I'm
Yeah.
kind of into it.
It's fun.
Yeah, so let's stick to that. And then you want the text to be a vector also once you've created the text.
Finalized it.
Yeah.
Nice. We got Jeff from Northeast Pennsylvania. Sick. Yeah, I really like that color.
The red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I'm just gonna go to type and create outlines. And it's super easy. And then I
Sick.
can, like if I really wanted to play around with
Adjust
each
a little
letter.
bit.
Yeah. And ungroup. And then I could be like, woo.
Nice.
I'm not gonna do that though.
But you could.
But I could.
But you could.
But I could. Okay, so we did that really fast. So that's fine. We'll just move on. And, well, let's see. Maybe it was like, I want the flowers down here and the lemon up here. But then I feel like it's two pointy things on the bottom.
Yeah, and it's too roundy. Yeah. I think I do like that a little bit more. Give it a little angle.
Maybe this though.
Can't forget the seeds. Nice. We got Monica in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, lost some seeds.
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe I like it this way.
This is one of those things where we could just be tweaking
I could like
forever.
make
Maybe
the
adjust.
lemon really small if I wanted to. There's so many things that you can do.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Let's stop there though.
I like it.
And so I want to show you the mock-up panel that Adobe offers already, which is somewhere under Window. So they have these, I assume it's, via Adobe Stock. Well, maybe, if they're mock-ups. I'm not sure how that works. But they have, let's see, so they have apparel. It's all really masculine, it feels like to me. And they've got some branding graphics. So I could just, I'll show you what it would look like with their mock-up, and then I'll pull in my own. Maybe mock-up. Maybe. Maybe I have to do this first.
Highlight it first. There we go.
Preview mock-up. There we go. Oh, it's just going to auto-propagate for all of those. But then I can pull it onto the page. Maybe. Place on canvas.
Yep.
I want you to click on it. Okay.
Nice.
So here is your tote bag. I think that it's very brown. So I don't love it.
Yeah, maybe a different mock-up might.
So, anyways.
The brown bag, it's a little fall.
It's, yeah.
But we're
it's
going for
something.
summer. So.
But they do have lots of options here too. So, that's something to look into. But you can make any image a mock-up, but you have to rasterize it first. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I just pulled this from, from Comfort Colors. There's someone that you can
Love Comfort Colors.
get t-shirts from directly, or if you use something like Printify or one of these other print-on-demand companies, they probably have Comfort Colors. They're a nice affordable option. So this feels more me than some of those masculine hoodies, and more this design. So I'm pulling it in as, I think it was a PNG. It might have been no, it's PNG. So we want to just rasterize that, which is under somewhere. I'm in the wrong note section, you guys. There we go. Okay, object rasterize. Sometimes I just need to know where everything is, and sometimes you just have to know about it.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Okay, so you want it colorful still, right? High resolution, I can make it higher. It's on high, that's good. I'm gonna make it a transparent background, and we should be good to go. It doesn't look like anything happened. That's fine. That is good to go. And then you want to regroup your image again, because otherwise it'll propagate on top of each other, and we don't want that.
No.
So, okay, all I'm doing is selecting both, and then it's just gonna show up for you to create a mock-up. So with one click, you ready?
Let's do it.
Drum roll.
Let's do it.
Great mock-up.
Oh, I guess we should have done the drum roll right now, huh?
Assessing the
Almost there.
image, creating mock-up. Woo! Okay, and it's gonna look silly at first. Let's delete this. But we're just gonna...
I like the mock-up on the arm. That's nice. Do like a little tattoo action.
Edit content.
Edit content.
Okay,
There we go.
Oh, we want to make it. I'm holding shift down. You can circle it. Let's see.
There we go.
There we go. And you can rotate it. And it thinks it's being clever by like putting it.
Maybe not for this campaign.
But okay. So it should, the cool thing is if like you have a weird surface area, like a hat, like it's going to
Map it pretty on
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
So I'm just holding shift and then lowering it.
Well, that's
and
great.
then, yeah, so see, like, if I pull it to the back, it's gonna make it like that. So I like to turn down the opacity a little bit too.
Give a little the texture of the shirt a little bit.
Yeah, just like a little bit.
Yeah,
That
because
feels
it's
good to
summer.
me.
You know, you've been in the sun. We got a little fade
Yeah.
going on.
So this is what your t-shirt looks like, y'all.
Nice.
I'm gonna rotate that a little bit.
Yeah, mocking in Illustrator is honestly a flex. I tried to do it one time and did not work out.
Well, this is pretty new too.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I mean, I could pull in, like, we could just find a hat image too. Let's just do that on the good old Google. Google.
Classic Google.
Hat mockup.
We got
I guess
D
it can-
Design in here. What's up? Nice. Nice.
It's not a PNG though.
If you're just joining us, we are here. My name is Raymond. This is Phoebe with Girl Gang Craft, and we are working in Illustrator right now, creating mock-ups, and we are going to be pretty much giving our fake client, if you will, or if we were selling this ourselves, we are going to be building out a full marketing plan, you know? So we're making mock-ups right now, pre-production, and we will be making a whole marketing plan after we finish our mock-ups to show our potential buyers what we're kind of working on. As a reminder, this is going to be available on the Adobe Live YouTube channel and on Behance after the fact. So if you want to come back, rewatch this, you are totally fine too. So.
I just don't want to ruin this mock-up, so I think I'm gonna see if I can just do a new one.
New one.
Release the mock-up, maybe? Okay, we're gonna do the whole thing over again.
Nice.
So you can repeat the process. And I'm just pulling in my PNG. I am vectorizing it. Image trace. I don't like that one. Image trace. And color trace. So this is if you missed the whole thing too. So we want to turn it into vectors. And then let's see, where did that hat go?
Nice. We got Andrew Hawkrattle in the chat. What's up, Hawk? Also, if you guys look on my laptop, you have Andrew Hawkrattle branding exclusive right there. There it is. Oh, glare. There we go.
So I'm pulling in the hat again with this is all image trace. I didn't add the text for this point, but we want to make sure that the object is rasterized before you make the mock-up. So now I can select all of that. Is this grouped still? Okay, create mock-up. I feel like I did something wrong over here, but we'll see. Super easy.
So we have Jeff in the chat asking, would you be able to do a custom mock-up, like a logo on a football helmet with this technique as well?
Totally, yeah. So I'm just pulling in a random PNG that I found on the internet. So Adobe does have some options for you, but like I said, there's not that many in their little library. So yeah, I mean, we could pretend that this is a football helmet.
Hawk just gave a great tip. You can try using Firefly, another Adobe product, to generate your mock-up as well. So say you have if you did want to do a football helmet and you just can't find the right football helmet on a stock website, you can use Firefly, create it with a prompt, and then bring that into Illustrator and do it that way. Or just do it all in Firefly. But there's multiple ways how to do all the creative things.
So I didn't expand, which was my mistake for the second one. And then you need to ungroup to get rid of the background image because it's doing it to the white because we're not doing black and white. If it was black and white, it would be different. So now I'm going to group it again. And now we can try the mock-up a little bit better. So learn from my mistakes.
It happens.
And yeah, so you could do any item, which is really cool. There we go. Obviously that looks stupid, so we want to make it small. Oh, release. I don't know why it makes you edit content like that at first. Ta-da. And you could have it weirdly on the side, and it's gonna like map it, which is so cool, you guys. And then I am going to make it even smaller because like you would probably have that really small. And you can turn it. And then you can change the opacity that comes up right here. So you can be like, and then it looks kind of like it's more with the vibe of the hat.
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, that looks good.
Let's just edit it closer up too, because I was kind of far away. To the side of the hat.
Little patch kind of vibe.
Wherever you want.
On the bill.
Obviously, the normal like spot of your.
But you got options.
Of your producer would
options.
make it like right here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about the mock-up feature because it's really cool. I have some answers. Yeah. So we have our cute little hat. So maybe we incorporate the hat into our marketing as well. We have that ready to go. But
I also love how it gives like on the mock-up panel, it kind of gives you like other options of like what it could look like as, you know, different wallpapers and stuff like that.
On your Apple Watch.
On your Apple Watch. So yeah, like you never know. You never know what the client wants. So
but there's not super many options. So that's why it's cool that you can do this with just a PNG. See, like this guy's not gonna wear this shirt.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
You
You know. But hey, who knows? Who knows?
And like I don't know about trucker hats, you guys. I like my dad hats. I don't know. I just think, yeah.
When I do wear a hat,
there are options.
I don't usually wear hats, but when I can fit one on my hair, it's usually a trucker hat. They're the only ones that could fit. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
So anyways, they do have some options, but not that many. So that's why it's cool to bring in a PNG, and you can also like save your mock-up as a template too. Let's see if I can do that with this one.
And the cool thing about Adobe is there's always things being added and there's always new mock-ups, and so the more you check it, the more you'll probably find more options for you.
Okay, add as a template. Let's see if it lets us do that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sick. Okay,
That's great.
so that means like I've already done the pre-work for this PNG with the, remember we rasterized it. That's what we need to do first. And then it saves as a mockup. So that's super cool because then I think you can just do any image there. Let's see if it works in the other. Yeah, you know what? We're going to try a different image, you guys.
Nice.
Okay, so this is my You Never Regret a Walk.
I love that you can just add your own mock-ups in there. And now it's like you're building your own library pretty much.
Totally. So this was not my original plan for today, you guys, but this is what we're doing now.
Audible.
Preview mockup. Preview mockup. Oh, this is still just text right now, so I have to.
Nice. We have Monica from Dallas asking, would you be able to edit the mock-up to make it look like it was embroidered in Illustrator, or is that more of a Photoshop kind of thing?
Oof. I couldn't do that.
Someone probably can, but
I'm sure there's a way to make it look like embroidery. That's not for me right now.
yeah, very valid, very valid.
Place on canvas. Okay,
Yeah, the interesting thing with Illustrator and Photoshop is there's a lot of overlap, but then there's some things that are just, you know, you want to use the specific program for. But this is great that you can even do this in Illustrator.
Yeah, so we have saved our mock-up, right, which is super cool. And then look at, I'm using my new image, and I can just see, especially if you like.
That looks good.
Like once you find a T-shirt that you like, right, and you get a lot of things printed on that T-shirt, which like maybe makes sense for your brand, right, to not have like a million different T-shirts. This is a great way to.
Yeah, I even see this as if a brand was wanting to do a lookbook for a new clothing line coming up, but they didn't have time to actually have production of the shirts. They could do a whole photo shoot, have a unique style and a unique look with their own models, their own location, or in studio, and they, in post, now are able to showcase.
Totally.
So it gives somewhat of an interesting, you know, sort of unique vibe to their clothing rollout, but, you know, they didn't have time for production. So this definitely helps.
Totally. And in this economy that we live in right now, print on demand is something I really recommend. And I don't need to name my favorite print on demand situation right now, but there's, you know, you don't have inventory up front. You're not spending that money up front.
Yes.
You're only getting the things that people have ordered. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive per piece than if you were to get the T-shirts and go get it printed at your local screen shop, but you're not hanging on to that inventory. And I come from a craft fair world, so if you're in the craft fair world and you're selling things in person, obviously you want to get those items made so you have them in person at your craft fairs, at your events, at your open studios, whatever. But print on demand on the internet is a really good option for saving money. So that's my little my spiel.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to go back to our original. And you see how I sort of made it diagonal too, because like the shirt's diagonal. So you're going to want to like play with that a little bit. I'm going to save this. Save Adobe Live Summer 11 Mockup. And we're going to do our marketing portion.
Nice.
So we're going to go into...
We're switching hats right now. We're going designer to marketer.
But it's really easy to, I'll show you, find your mockup immediately in Adobe Express. But so we're going to... do an Instagram reel, okay?
Nice.
And sometimes I click on reel and sometimes I just click on story because they're really the same, but also not. So we'll see what they have here. I had a template in mind, but I think we might just like start from scratch. I'm gonna type in fashion. Full screen so you don't see my files. Thank you. And my forest background. Okay, we're typing in fashion. And there was a fun one that I found. I mean, this could be cool. We can incorporate the hat too.
That one is nice.
Let's see. Lots of options in templates too, and you can like type in other things. I kind of like this one. This is cute.
And are these templates that just people in the community have uploaded, or are these specifically made by Adobe?
I think that's a great question. I think Adobe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on this. I think they collaborate with artists
Nice.
and bring the templates into
Cool.
Adobe Express. I'm sure there's some internal ones.
Probably
But
mix of
that's my
both.
guess because I think some of them say who they're by too.
Nice.
I don't know. What happened here? I don't want this one. Delete. Delete. Okay. Start new file. There we go. Starting from scratch. Okay.
There we go.
So we're talking about the like business aspect of this, right? So we've created our image, we've done it on our iPad, and we've brought it in to mock it up, right? With the intention to get like pre-orders or create a lookbook or to do some print on demand stuff, right? So you don't have to purchase items, go get things screen printed, or so you know your number, right? And we're not like overshooting or undershooting. And also to do things in stages can be more appealing, right? So if you do like a pre-order that's like closed for a certain amount of numbers, like that can hype up it for the next drop. You could do another drop. So that's just something
It's
to
good to
think
be
about.
on demand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm clicking on my stuff and my mockup should be right here. So we had just saved that and it's just right here under my stuff, which we love.
There you go.
Okay, I do want to mention a couple of new features. Quick replace. Also, I feel like my brightness is down. Quick replace. So it's gonna show up with the content that you can quick replace. So we love that. We're gonna place this. Is it gonna show up from? It's not gonna show up from there though. Let's see. Replace with upload. So I could have uploaded that, but I'm just gonna switch to my stuff. Oh, maybe. Okay, well, I'm just gonna pull this onto the image.
Nice.
That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna make this big. And this lovely lady, we're gonna remove the background. Easy peasy.
There we go.
See how cool it is to just pull that in from your other files? So I literally just saved that, right? So that's immediately available for you. We are going to make this work with my brand colors. So that is really easy to do. We're gonna click on our brands.
Nice.
And I'm already uploaded here.
Got colors, got logos.
And
Girl Gang Craft is ready.
we're ready. So
Ready.
I'm just clicking on that and applying. And
Dang.
you can keep doing that. like there's a different way to do this too. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the apply brand button. So that's just gonna
Everything.
change things. I kind of like that pink
Dang,
and
that's-
blue. It doesn't really match with the actual shirt though. I mean, I could have used my brand colors for the
For the shirt, the design.
original shirt, but that's fine. Kind of like this one.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we're gonna go with this one. Maybe we
Nice.
incorporate that red somehow into here
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. So, what are we working with here? We're gonna move this to the back. I can send it to the back just like that. I'm right clicking, or I could see the side panel and just scoot it down. Okay, but we don't really love that because that's blocking the shirt. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. And I do want the flowers behind.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. So we have these flowers. What should this text say? Well, we already have summer loving here, so I want. We're just gonna say pre-order our new summer tea.
Nice.
And I'm gonna use my font that I have already uploaded into brand. So we use the pop-ins. And then maybe I would put my logo at the top too. You know what'd be cuter than their flowers is maybe just using my own logo.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty similar vibe.
It's
I mean,
pretty
that's
similar
like
vibe.
pretty, yeah.
So let's do this.
Nice.
Okay. And then I also have these little elements too, and these are just I made these in Illustrator too. So these are something that you can save into your brand or like save from the files, whatever.
Nice.
And that's cute. What else do we have in here?
I think this is a good example of, building a brand also takes time, and you've worked a lot before even just this session. And because you put so much work in, now it's plug and play.
Yes.
And so you've done a lot of the hard work way before over the years of building this brand. And now, your workflow is so much quicker because of that, which is great.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're a small business owner, it's so easy to use Adobe Express for this and to add all your branding in there, etc. But I do want to bring in my other logo, which I have not pre-set up. So let's see if there's anything in here.
Monica said, I love the high contrast pops of color.
Thank you. Where is my logo? Here's a logo. We can use the green. That's fine. Perfect. So that's just at top. You might even be able to recolor this, actually. Well, we'll leave it for now. I like the green.
Nice.
Okay, so this is a video, y'all. So we should, make things animated. So let's do that. And let's see. So I like to start with the text and click on animation. And, ooh, that was kind of fun.
Oh, wow.
The flicker. Pre-order a new summer tea. I love a tumble. I really love a tumble.
That's pretty nice. That'd be good on stories or, you know.
Yeah. Or typewriter.
Or this is a reel, right? This is for reels.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So this is like one scene. Depending on time, we have time, so we can add some more scenes. Let's do that. Let's add another scene. So we're gonna edit timeline. I'm gonna keep the same vibe. I like this like green sort of shape in the background. And so I'm just going to duplicate the whole thing. And then, you know, we're not gonna want 5 whole seconds of that. So we're gonna bring that way down. And then, so it already auto applied some animation. So we're gonna have to like deal with what we're doing there. But I'm gonna pull in the hat. I think I need to make sure that that's saved. I think I didn't save it, so it's not gonna show up. Oops. Let's see. So here's our hat. Save to Creative Cloud. Hat mockup. Summer 11. Adobe Live.
Nice.
And then now that should show up in our stuff. Oh, look at that. It's instant.
Quick. That's quick.
So we're in our second scene now. So we're going to get rid of this girly pop and add in the hat. We're going to remove this background. I think I'm on animation. So...
I think it's maybe on the edit. Top left, kind of.
Yeah, thank you.
There it is.
You're right. So why is it just showing up as animated? Linked asset. Why isn't it letting me remove the background? Open in Illustrator. That's weird. Because we could do that no problem with this. That was a linked asset. But let's just give this a nice little refresh. I could also save it as a PNG too. But I feel like you should be able to do that.
That is strange.
Okay. Well, let's just save it as a PNG. Export per screen. Export as PNG on the desktop. I think we can make background transparent immediately. Oh, but we'll have to cut that still. Okay. So on the desktop, that should be correct. Now I can write background.
There we go.
That's weird though. I feel like that's just an error. Like that should be.
A little glitch.
Yeah. But see? Okay. And we'll say, and our new dad hat too.
Nice.
Okay. So, oh, this already at 9 seconds. Okay. So we're gonna shorten this way.
That is
down.
very long. Awesome. If you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Raymond. We are live in San Francisco at the Adobe Live offices. Right now we have Phoebe from Girl Gang Craft working on making mock-ups and using those mock-ups in a marketing plan. Right now we're making a reel for some new summer merch that we're making. So
Because my water bottle is green screening,
nice.
which is pretty cool.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Okay, so here's what we have.
Love that.
It's pretty quick. But I wanna, those are like the animations that like came with the template. So I just want to
We can adjust a little bit.
adjust. Yeah. I think I want to group. Let's see. So it's kind of like flashing. I like the flashing of the background, but I do want it not to flash for the second one because it's like already there,
It's already
you
there.
know?
Yeah.
So I'm highlighting all of those and I'll probably group those and say none. Loop none, none. Okay. So that should work and have it already be there. No, it's doing it. That's interesting. In.
There we go.
I think that should
That
work.
should be it.
Oh, it's not doing it for all of them. Okay, let's see if that works. I kind of like that inside one, so I think it's just not grouping. Sometimes it's just trial and error, you guys. Now it's moving like that, but I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so we want that text in first. So we want to like play around with the timing. And so you can click on show layer timing and you can click each item for when you want it to come in. So we want the text to come after the green is like established, just like a little bit. And so it'll make this little dot too about the other animation that you're working with. And then it's like doing its thing. And we want our logo to come into maybe a bungee. And I want that a little bit after, well, maybe we want it first. I don't know. It's like, bam, here we are. Sure. Okay. Definitely want something fun with these guys. So,
Ooh, a little tumble in, a little turn.
yeah, like a spin.
Dancing.
And then I kind of want this to spin the other way.
Yeah.
I think you can change the direction. Yeah, so that's good to know, guys. When you click on the animation, it's going to show up with the duration, the personality. So you could like have it be soft. You could have it be strong, energetic. Anyways, something to play with depending on the vibe of your thing that you're making. And I'm gonna change the direction so it comes in from the side too. Oh, and you can change the spinning direction too.
Nice.
So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's cool, but I think that's kind of short. So we're gonna just play with that timing. And how do we know if something's short or long? It's really hard, but like you wanna like see how your attention span does for things and think about how your viewers and your followers are going to process something. But like a good rule of thumb, right, is like obviously all the text should be in. So that's that typewriter thing. We want to make sure that we give it enough time for all the text to come in. And then we want people to see the actual product, right? So like give it a second. I mean, you don't want something, we're at a second 0.2. I'm gonna give it a second 0.4 for this whole part. And like almost, I think it should be a little bit longer. And then we can have her be animated in some way. I'm gonna have her row, pop, maybe shrink. And then you want, so you have the in, the out, the loop, right? So you want maybe something to happen since she's already in there and maybe she like bobs.
Oh, wow.
Or jitters.
That seems a little...
Wiggles. I kind of like the wiggle. So let's see how that looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still too short now.
The wiggle is nice. It kind of goes in like, it's a little off from the background, but
Yeah.
doing a similar thing. I like that.
So let's see. I still feel like it needs like a moment to loop. Yeah. And then the cool thing about Adobe Express too is like I could also add music here if we wanted it to be commercial, not non-commercial. If we wanted to make sure that we had all the usage rights to it. So she's looking good. And then we can play with the like the slide transition as well. So add transition here, dissolve, push. So it's like a new page.
Ooh,
That's
I like
cool.
that. I like that a lot.
Or wipe.
I like the push.
I like the push too, I think.
Yeah. It almost feels like it's like a carousel on
Yeah.
Instagram a little bit, but it's a reel. So it's kind of like mixing, you know. I like that a lot.
So, and then we want maybe this hat to also wiggle. Are these animating? This should just be, they're already in, so.
Like it.
But maybe these could spin on the loop.
Mm.
Or jitter. Jitter is such a weird word. Okay, she's
That's looking pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's looking great.
So she's ready to go. I mean, this could go on your stories. You could also like divide these scenes into PNGs too and put them on your stories, or divide them into 2 different videos if you want people to like click through on your stories. I do think this type of video content does better on Instagram than TikTok. This could also be print, or you could make this into a carousel really easily. We could quickly do a resize too and see what this looks like for a carousel. I'm finding carousels are doing really well on Instagram right now too. So
Especially with the music over.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So just to recap everything of what we've done today with Phoebe, we've made merch, made mock-ups, made our own mock-ups. We adjusted those on the fly, pulled a new mock-up with a hat, and then brought those into Express and made a full-on marketing reel post.
Yep, and we just made this into a carousel. So we could get rid of all the animations, and it should automatically make it not a video for us. And then you can download as 2 PNGs. And it's cool though because, let's see. They're all in the same project now. So if you go here, where did I just come from? So I can save these pages. There we go. This is our 2. Sorry. This first one is your reel.
Nice.
And then the second one right here next to it is your 2 carousels. So all of this will show up. See, view all pages in the same area. So you can keep
your project. Yeah. Digital asset management. It's important.
It's so important. And keep all that stuff together, which is really helpful. And yeah, I think we're about out of time. If anyone has any questions, let us know. You can find me at Girl Gang Craft. And where can we find you?
Awesome. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Rapberry. That's raspberry minus the S. So yeah, I'm excited for what we went through today. As a reminder, this is going to be available on Adobe Live YouTube as well as Behance. If you want to check back, relearn, refresh your knowledge on these skills. We're going to continue having a great day in San Francisco. I will actually be on the next stream. I will be going over studio retouching. So retouching some portraits that I shot in the studio a couple weeks ago, and showing different techniques of how to make that easier. So awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was great.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Bye.
Today, I am bringing back a 19-year-old project from my college days to reimagine the currency. So this was the inspiration from this project, and I wanted to reimagine this and revisit it. I want to shine the light on the legacy of everyday women. So this is mi abuelita aquí, and I wanted to create the $3.5 trillion bill. This is to reflect the contribution that Latinos and Hispanos have for the GDP. And because I want to bring this to a digital format, I decided to go with the vertical design. We're gonna go to Photoshop, go to the adjustment layers. We're gonna add a new layer that is black and white. And we're gonna select both of these and we're gonna make them a smart object. Then we are going to create a new layer. We want to fill this layer. And then I wanna make sure that it's 50% gray. Then I am going to convert this one into a smart object. Filter gallery. So I wanna make sure I have the image selected. So then you're gonna go into sketch. First, you're gonna do the halftone pattern. Then you're gonna have it set to 4 and contrast 0, pattern type dot. And then you're gonna add another plus icon over here to duplicate that, but we're gonna select torn edges. Now what we wanna do is we're gonna go into filter, we're gonna go to distort, and we're gonna select twirl, and we're gonna give it 100%. And then what we're gonna do is with that layer that we just fixed, we're gonna go into hard mix, add a new solid color, and then we're going to select screen. Where are you, screen? Right here. I went in here and I clicked on remove background. I'll option drag that mask to every one of those layers, and then I have that already good to go. So that's how we're able to recreate this. So we're gonna go back here to Illustrator. I have my background. I wanted this to be very textured. I have my color palette here. So one of the things that I created was these nice little kind of patterns that you see a lot still in a lot of the currency. So, okay, so it's like a pencil tool, and then I'm just gonna draw one, and then we're gonna do another stroke, and then I'm going to move this over. And then we're gonna go over here to this icon to blend. So we're gonna select the other line that we want to do. So here's where you can play with numbers. You can click on 20. I selected a different color for the other side. So that's how I was able to create these line elements. With these beautiful forms over here, I want to create a pattern. Bring this one over, and then we're going to go into make a pattern. I like how this is turning out. I literally just drew a rectangle and then I added this little pattern. And so what I did is I kind of recreated a seal, again, keeping with the color harmony values that I was using, outline everything and expand everything. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna jump into Adobe Express for the parte number 2. This is the template that you guys can access. If you scan that QR code, that should take you to accessing this template. But what I did is I worked a little bit ahead of time and I added this image of mi abuelita. Here was another seal that I found within one of the assets inside Adobe Express, which I kind of like too. Bringing in everything from our Illustrator file. We're gonna go to add-ons and we're going to go to this free add-on video background. We can create a gradient based off of colors that we have. I kind of like that. And so you can adjust the speed. So we can kind of go in and adjust it. Again, it's like these little details, yeah. One of the things that I really wanted to incorporate was some of the cultura from mi abuelita, being Colombian. So I managed to get a nice animated video of orchids, orquídeas, and this was my prompt that I had. We can then remove the background it really allows you to explore and really incorporate Firefly into these design elements. You can start to see these subtle changes.
Purple to the orange is so cool. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Ciao.
Welcome back to Adobe Live. I'm Jess Goldsmith, and here we are also back with Raymond Alva, aka Rap. And why don't you tell everyone about yourself and what you're going to be doing today?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here in San Francisco with the Adobe team. Like Jess said, my name is Raymond Alva. Some people like to just call me Rap, which is short for a nickname that I got in 4th grade.
Ooh.
Also short for my Instagram name, Rapberry. So if you want to check out some of my work in the middle of the stream, after the stream, you can go check it out there. I am a portrait and music photographer based in Southern California. I usually shoot with a lot of musicians, a lot of album artwork, a lot of press photos, editorials for magazines, that kind of realm. But today we are actually going to be working on a personal project of mine. So this is actually my mother, who just turned 58 a couple weeks ago.
Ooh, happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. So she, when we were talking a couple weeks before her birthday, she mentioned to me that she had always wanted to be my subject in the studio. So
That's
she
so
wanted
nice.
to have the full rep experience in the studio. And so on the day of her birthday, we got to do that. And so she came over
so
to my
special.
studio and we did a bunch of different setups. We experimented with different lighting techniques. And so today we are going to be retouching those portraits. So
I love that. Love that she has your name on her arm.
yes.
Too. That's beautiful.
So yeah. So about that. So
You're like, that's not me.
it's technically not me, but so Raymond is, I'm a junior, so Raymond is actually my dad's name.
Okay.
And so she got that from my dad. But she also told my dad when she was getting it, if you ever mess up, I'm putting Junior next to it. So
that's funny.
it's not me technically, but
But it's not.
But it's not. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know. So yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah. So I already, these photos are already somewhat color corrected a little bit. We're gonna be focusing more so on the retouching of these, and what I mean by retouching is we are going to be taking out certain parts of the image that we don't necessarily want in there anymore. Maybe flyaways in the hair, maybe little pieces of thread sticking out of her clothes. And then we're also going to be doing some skin retouching in a natural way. So we don't want to necessarily make it so that, you know, it's full smooth everywhere.
Yeah, not
but
the Kardashian treatment.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
don't want that necessarily, but we do want to, you know, when we look at images, we're looking at it for a very long time and with more detail. And that allows us to kind of look at things and notice things that we don't usually notice in everyday life. And so because of that, we are going to help her out, help my mom out, and sort of get rid of those distractions that might not be there on a daily basis.
Okay, now question.
Yes.
Because I know my mom would.
Okay.
Did your mom specifically ask for certain edits?
So,
Like, can you make me look X, Y, and Z? Because, again, 100,000% my mom would do that.
yes. So there was definitely some images where she did say that.
Okay.
But she also appreciated my judgment and understood that I was only going to send her the best of the best.
Okay,
and
cool.
so looking out for her as well. Yeah. So
Amazing. I was just curious.
Yeah, totally.
I'm excited to see your process. I'm not in the photo world.
Cool.
I surprise have edited my photos at times, but I'm excited to see a professional do it in real time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll start off right now. I'm gonna get my setup right now. We're also using a little tablet right here.
Great.
So a little small boy. This thing is like $50 or something. So yeah, I love using these. It just saves my hand from cramping, and feels like I'm painting. Feels like I'm doing art.
Nice.
This is art, but a little different. So awesome. So right now, whenever I see an image, I always like to evaluate what is it about this image that I absolutely don't want. And so with that, we are going to look for flyaways. We're going to look for things on the clothes. We're going to see if we need to bring out the Liquify tool, because eventually we are going to be working more in opacity layers, and we're going to be taking down opacity in certain areas. And with that stuff, we don't necessarily want to take it out completely because we're going to blend it. But right now, we want to take out stuff completely. So as always, we like to work in a non-destructive workflow. And so I'm just going to duplicate my layer right now, just using Command J. And right now I am going to push J, and that is going to make it so that I am going on all of my spot tools, my patch tools, my healing tools. So I usually like to go in between my spot healing brush as well as my patch tool. So right now we're going to start on our spot healing.
Nice.
We are going to select our new layer, and we're just duplicating our layer just because we want to make sure that if we mess up, we could still go back,
Bree wants to know what that tablet was called and if it's better than an iPad to use for this.
That is a great question. This is it's a Wacom Intuos. Intuos is the name.
Wacom Intuos.
Wacom Intuos. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
It's either Wacom or Wacom. I don't know.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Whatever. We're using their products. We like it. We're still working.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use one of these guys. They have a bunch of different kinds. This is kind of like the entry level that I got in college, and it's just done the job. But you bring up the iPad, and I actually do use my iPad sometimes.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
I didn't bring my iPad here today. Just this is a little easier to travel with.
Right.
But great question, and I do like using the iPad sometimes.
Cool.
So.
Also, Bree says happy birthday, and theirs is on Monday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Bree.
happy birthday, Bree. Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. So we are going to look around here and just... It's also a little hard. My screen's a little dirty, so I don't know if it's actual dust or if it's just my screen. But I'm just going to zoom in. I saw something over here. I'm going to, using the bracket keys, I'm making my brush a little bigger and smaller. And I see this guy right there. I see this guy. And these are, not important details. Like in the long scheme, these are very small. We got dust there,
But
dust
as
there.
the creative, and I mean, I can relate to this just in a different way. Like that little thing, at least for me, if I left it there, I would just be thinking about it nonstop.
Yeah, it would bug me so much. And so looking over here, even like this little part of the chair, we just want to clean it up a little bit. And the main goal of this is we're getting rid of distractions, okay? So the main thing is, with any kind of photo, it's about storytelling. Mm-hmm. And the story here is we're sharing, a clean portrait of my mom. And, in her facial expression is her whole story. Yeah. And, through a portrait, we're able to share a person's story. And with that, we don't want people to focus on dust. We want people to focus on the story. And so that's the main sort of reason for this. And so just getting rid of a couple of these guys. This little, looked like a little cut or burn something.
I love her tattoos.
Yeah, she loves her tattoos.
She also has great hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Love your mom. Big fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. I definitely get my hair from her, so I have to thank her for that.
Nice.
So, and then even moving up into the skin, so I see this little blemish isn't something that's there usually. And so we're just going and not necessarily getting rid of everything, but things that, you know, my mom might want to be taken out. So let's see, we're moving, we're going around this little piece of makeup. Awesome. And we are all up in there. Nice. Fix that a little bit. There we go.
Cool.
And it's very tedious. It's honestly kind of boring sometimes.
Wait,
but,
so which tool is this that you're using now?
So we are using the spot healing tool.
Spot healing,
Yeah,
okay.
so right here, this top guy, if you push J, that's the first one that's going to come up. And then you can keep pushing Shift J to go through all of these different ones.
And you're using like a bit of an angled brush.
Exactly, yes. That's
Yeah.
actually a great point. So up here, you can adjust your brush settings. And I like to give my brush, you could change the angle up here. I like to do that and then make it more of an oval. Also, this is where you could change the hardness, the spacing, whatever. I give this is a tip that I learned when I was in college from one of my professors. When you're retouching, nothing in the face or anywhere ever is a perfect circle.
So true. Yep.
So why are we retouching with
In
a perfect circle?
yeah.
So,
Okay, great.
you know, like we said, we're trying to have a natural feel to this, and we are going to have an imperfect circle because we're in an imperfect world. And so,
Amazing.
yeah. So that was a great point to actually
That is a
bring
great
that
point.
up.
And it's interesting because, like, I guess, like, technically that oval is symmetrical, right? But, like, when you put it on that angle and then you're using it in a certain way, it doesn't feel
Exactly.
like it's symmetrical. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are, yeah. So, and I do that with my my stamp tool, which I think I might break out here eventually. I'm just getting rid of these little flyaways. But yeah, and I'm doing small little dots, as you can see. I'm getting really tight in there. No one is ever going to be zooming this close.
I am.
You are, yeah. Other creatives might, but you know, if I printed this image, you know, 4 feet tall,
Right.
then you know
You would see
you
it
would
a lot
really
bigger.
see it all. And so
And when you think about commercial, that's usually how it's
that's the
printed.
point.
It's
Yeah,
pretty huge.
exactly. So getting rid of these little dots in here. I see Brandon. She's beautiful. Yes, she is. Brandon's a good friend of mine, so he's allowed to say
Aw.
that. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone can say that.
But it is sweet that your friend says that.
Yeah. Get rid of this hair in here.
Nice. So how long have you been, I was going to say, like, photographizing? How long?
That is awesome. I love that so much.
How long
Yeah.
have you been photographizing and editing?
So good. So I have been shooting for almost 10 years now.
Amazing.
So I got my first camera actually from my mom and my dad
Nice.
on my 16th birthday, and I turned 26 later this year. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been a minute, and I've been working professionally as a photographer for probably like 6 of those years. I
Okay,
would say.
cool.
Yeah, ever since like the
started
beginning
early.
of college. Yeah. Yeah, I
pretty-
always wanted to
pretty amazing.
up into it. So now when we get into the hair, I like to, so the thing with using the spot healing, what I was doing before is I'm taking out full things, you
Right.
know, full lines, full blemishes, you know, full spots. But with the hair, I'm only taking out parts of it. You know, I'm not taking out all the hair, because if I did that, if I did like
Yeah,
this,
you're like-
it's gonna, you know, blur
Yeah.
it a little bit. It's not gonna be perfect. And so when I go for the hair, I like to use my stamp tool, and I'm going to adjust this a little bit. I'm gonna bring the hardness, not fully, but about right there. And then I'm gonna bring my opacity up all the way because I wanna fully get this. And using my Option key, I'm going to click right here,
Right next to it.
right next to it, and just
Okay,
paint
cool.
along it.
Nice. Because if it was like too hard, then it would just have like that awkward
Exactly.
cutoff.
Exactly. And it's all about blending. It's all about it being natural. And so we're just taking rid of this. And we're not getting rid of everything. You know, this one big line, I'm kind of fine with that right now. But
And also, like we have hair. We know how hair, you know, kind of
Exactly.
like lives in the world.
Yeah.
It's not.
no stranger to hair over
Straight-
here.
yeah,
no
exactly.
stranger. Yeah, so we're just going. And I'm also
great.
reselecting my point every once in a while just to keep it going. Yep. And on the Wacom tablet, it's also nice because if I slightly tap it, it'll almost, it's like a brush, you
Yeah.
know? So it's not necessarily always 100%. If I push harder on it, then it's 100%.
Right.
But I could just slightly go over,
Got it.
and then that's feathering it a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Andrew says, we love the clone stamp. Like, yay, generative fill, but we'll never forget you, clone stamp.
for real,
They can never make me hate you, clone stamp.
we have to remember where we come from. And so,
Exactly.
you know,
I mean, so, you know, I'm not a photo retoucher, but yeah, like I'll edit like my own photos, but sometimes I'll also use it to edit illustrations. If I'm like, oh, I just like, if it's a finished flat illustration, I'll kind of do what you're doing here, but kind in a different way because
Yeah.
obviously it's a different medium. And yeah, I love the stamp tool. It's an OG.
it's an OG for sure. So yeah, we're going here, readjusting. And then we're gonna get into some fun stuff after this. So
What, this isn't fun?
this-
I'm having
this
I'm
is-
having such a, I'm
this
not
is-
even kidding.
This
is so
fun
cool.
to us, you know, but I think some other people might not be super stoked. But who knows?
No,
might,
they're
They might be
stoked.
crazy like us. So
I think if you're watching Adobe Live,
that's a good point. That is a good point.
yeah, you're where we're at.
Yeah. And if you're not, if you're coming here from my Instagram, then this is what I do. You've always wondered what I do for my job, and this is it.
This is it. My best friend says her job is doodles. She just doodles all day, and I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? You're not wrong. You're also not right.
Yeah, it's the same, but also very different.
Yeah.
So, Alex, this is fun. I know. Alex loves a good retouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, one of my studio mates back in where I'm from.
Nice. What up, Alex? Shout
Alex
out.
actually taught me a lot about retouching.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
Shout out Alex.
Woo!
Nice. We're getting there. Getting
Nice.
these nice little spots. We're going to zoom in a little bit more. Get a smaller brush to get a little bit
Getting
more
really in there.
And then if I make a mistake, I'm just going ahead and pushing Command Z. You know, just classic Command Z to redo
Yeah.
the last step.
Command Z is self-care.
Yeah,
That
real.
is, yeah.
That is so
Bree
real.
says, Adobe Live is all I watch now. I would love a doodle lettering job. Bree, you can do it. You can. I'm not even being
Not even
nice.
joking.
I'm not even being nice. You just can.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take a big brush over here and just take these guys.
Isn't it crazy when you realize you could do whatever you want?
Anything.
It's like you could do
Anything.
literally whatever you want. I'm like, anything?
Kind of scary,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But also really exhilarating.
Yes, liberating, if you will.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, see, we got some of this guy right here.
I was actually going to say I don't mind that.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Like it kind of looks like hair is like there's a reflection on the hair.
Yeah. Sick. So, and I always love to zoom out and zoom back in just to see.
Yeah.
And this guy is kind of bugging me.
Bothering you. Monica says, I love Lightroom for photos, but I rarely use Photoshop because there's too much to confuse me there. I've used Lightroom maybe like only at like one part of my life,
Yeah.
one era of my life. So what's the main difference between the two?
So that's actually a great question. So how I like to think of it is Lightroom is adjusting the pixels that are already there.
Okay.
Photoshop is moving pixels or adding pixels.
Okay.
So Photoshop is it's much more pixel based. Yes, we could do some of these, stamp tools. We have generative fill in Lightroom now, but
cool.
for the most part, we are adjusting the tone and the color of the images in Lightroom. And then in Photoshop, we are moving those pixels all around.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you. I've actually wondered that for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I just never had the real opportunity to
Nice. Sweet. So actually, right here, I feel like this looks a little unnatural. So in order to help this is kind of, we're going a little painter mode on this. So I am going to add a new layer, and I'm going to go to my brush, and I am just in a regular brush right now. I just push B, and we are going to hardness. We're going to make that not quite fully, but right there. And then we are going to, we're going to paint a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to make this really, really tiny, and I'm just
gonna like make hair strokes.
Literally.
Oh, that's great. Cool.
And then while we're here, I'm gonna do a little darker of a color just to give that dimension. No, I might even bring my opacity down a little bit.
Just like add in like those highlights,
Exactly.
those lowlights. Hair, I feel like hair is really hard to edit. You're making it look super easy.
And there's definitely different ways or better ways of how to do this. You know, there's specific brushes that you can get, specific like brush patterns, if you will, for hair if someone has curly hair. But we're doing it the old-fashioned way. We're
Okay,
using
cool.
the
You're
clone
just drawing
stamp
it in.
tool. We're using the
Yeah.
brush tool. We're going super old school today. And so even before, after, and you know, I think
Yeah.
I might bring my opacity down on that just a tad. And so even if we go back a little bit, we can
You could just see the difference.
if we hold my option and click this little eyeball, it's before
Yeah,
and
wow.
after. Very, very slight.
Can I make a really annoying suggestion?
Please.
Okay, on the right side.
I see it.
Okay.
I see it.
Okay.
I see it. I was already going to do that. Yep. So we will go to our stamp again. This guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You're like, get out of there. But otherwise, I mean, it's so interesting because if you just showed me that photo by itself, I'd be like, that's gorgeous. That was shot beautifully. Your mom looks amazing. Everything
For
about
sure.
that's perfect. And then you're like, wait, but look at these edits. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It actually looks so much better.
Yeah. And we're still in the beginning steps.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, you know, retouching it's a patience game because
Alva's a boss.
for real. Thank you, Hawk Rattle. So yeah, retouching is very tedious and can take a long time.
Yeah.
That's why there are people who are full-time retouchers.
Mm-hmm.
Their job is just to retouch. And so, as you can see, I have a lot of tabs on top of my Photoshop because I plan to maybe retouch a lot of photos, but this is already taking a long time.
Yeah.
And that's
time
just,
flies on
you
Adobe
never
Live.
know. When you go into a photo, you never know what you kind of have to work through. And so I'm going to start working. I'm going to move on to the next step. I am going to make a new duplicate layer of everything that's right there right now. So I'm not just going to duplicate my top layer because then I would just have more hair.
Right.
But I'm going to Shift, Command, Option E, which pretty much
It turns all of that into a layer.
yeah, it merges that all into a layer while still keeping my bottom layers, but
Nice.
making one on top. And so,
I have another question. Would
Yeah.
it be useful or make sense to turn that into a smart object, or are you not able to use like the stamp tools and things like that on smart objects?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
So you totally can. I work on smart objects later on.
Okay, cool.
In a different way, kind of. So that is like the last step for me.
Got it.
But you totally
Okay.
can. So, like I always like to mention, Adobe products, you can do so many things in so many different ways.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
so it's like,
there's no wrong way
There's-
to
exactly,
do it.
there's
There's just
no-
different ways of
yes,
doing it.
everyone has their way. And so what I kind of want to get into right now is I want to get into actions. And so actions are a great way to sort of speed up your workflow for the future, because what I'm about to do is going to take a long time if I didn't have an action. So first off, we are going to make an action And how you do that is we have this little panel on actions right here. I have a little retoucher folder. I'm going to add an action. And what we're going to do here is called frequency separation. And frequency separation is a very common retouching tool that a lot of people use within Photoshop. And pretty much what this does is this separates all the different frequencies within your image. What that means...
Okay, great. I was going to ask.
Yeah, so what that
What
means,
does that mean?
it's a little confusing. What that means, if you think about it, you have two different frequencies in your image. You have color and you have texture. And so what I'm going to do right now, what we're looking at is we're seeing them combined. What we're going to do is we are going to separate them so that we have different layers of texture and color. That's going to help us sort of get a little bit more natural and adjust the color and the tone of some of the stuff that's happening on our face while still keeping that skin texture and those pores that we want to keep.
Cool.
You know?
I actually don't know what that looks like in practice, so I'm very excited to see this. Also,
Cool.
Alex wants to know what your favorite retouching music and says, shout out to frequency separation 100.
Yeah, 100 for real. Yep. Frequency separation, it is a lifesaver. For music though, I kind of range all over the place. And so honestly, I'm either listening to like some techno, like some Lake Hills is a great artist that I love to listen to. If you don't know who that is, check him out on Spotify. Cool. His song Format Card is awesome. Also, Bob Dylan.
Oh.
I mean, I'm going from techno to old school soul and funk. So it's kind of all over the place. So awesome. So I'm going to name this Freak. Oh.
We're just going to name it Freak.
Set. There we go. I'm going to make it so that it's in my retouching and I'm going to do record. And now everything that I do after this step is going to be recorded in my action. And then every time I play the action, it will do everything of what I'm about to do.
Cool. Okay,
So,
smart.
So right now, first step that I want to do in making this action is I want to make 2 copies of this image right here. So I'm going to do Command J. Now I have 2 additional copies. From there, I'm going to rename my top one high frequency, which is my texture. High frequency. I like using abbreviations. My one right underneath that is my low frequency. And in order to rename, I literally just clicked on the name. Kinda. There we go.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that wasn't working. But, oh, I forgot. Yeah. I'm gonna restart this because I just did, as you could see, it recorded
that you
me
clicked that.
clicking that. And I don't want that. So it's you have to, when you're making this, you have to keep that in mind. So I'm actually going to delete this. We're going to get it right on the first try.
Okay. Everyone leave him alone.
Gosh. Frequency sep. Record. We're going to make 2 layers. High frequency, low frequency. And then we are going to hide our high frequency layer. As we're selected on the low frequency, we are going to go into Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and this is going to blur our image. Don't be freaked out. We're still good. We're still be with us. This part doesn't necessarily affect right now, so we're just going to click, a mid-level. We're going to click OK, and then in our action, we are going to click. There's a little box right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're going to click that. What that's going to do is that's going to make it so that every time we play this action, the Gaussian blur panel comes up and we're able to adjust the value of that.
Nice.
So from there, we are going to move on. We are going to show our high frequency. And then when we're on that, when we're selected on high frequency, we're going to go to layer. We are going to, image. Apply image, and then we are going to channel is good. We are going to invert this guy.
Ooh.
Blending mode, we are going to go to linear light. Yes, I believe. Yeah, I think it's linear light. Or no, we are going to also So this is actually a little different. So depending on, within photography, you have two different types of images. You have 8-bit images and 16-bit images. Depending on what kind of image you're working with, which is all in the metadata and in the info, it's all pretty much talking about your color and how you're working, how much color is available. You will either, if you're working in an 8-bit image, you are going to do subtract. If you're working in 16, you are going to do add.
And I guess, how would you know which one? Is it like...
It's kind of just you know.
You just know.
It's
Okay, if you know, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of you know. That's why we're making an action so that it's easy to do this in the future.
Got it. Okay.
And so from there, when you do add for a 16-bit image, you are going to want to invert. If you were on an 8-bit image, you are going to uncheck this invert and then do subtract.
Okay.
And then also if you were on 8-bit, you would want to set your offset to 128.
What is that? What does it mean?
Don't really know,
No,
honestly.
that's fine.
But that's
like,
just
that's
how
just
you do
what
it. That's just how you do
it
it.
works.
And then for the 16-bit, you are going to keep this at 0.
Okay. I do have another question.
Yes.
Okay, what is the difference between subtract and inverted add? Because it sounds like two negatives equal positive type of deal.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
a little bit. And I also forgot to mention that we are going to be taking this layer from the low frequency. And pretty much what that's doing is our low frequency has none of the texture in it right now.
Okay.
And so when we're inverting and adding, we're almost adding back the texture from the layer that's not there anymore. So I don't know exactly why we're inverting and then adding, you know, what kind of science is happening right there. But that's just...
It's just how it works.
That's just how you do
cool.
it. So we're going to click OK. And now we have just the texture of this image. From here, we are going to set this to linear light. Where is it? Linear light. Then we are going to group these in a folder, rename this Freak Sep, and then go in here, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to actually select my lasso tool, and then that's it. That's the action.
That's the whole action.
So that's the action. Now we are going to click the stop button, and now it's not recording anymore. And so just to show you guys what we're working with, I'm going to delete that action, and I'm going to go up here, frequency sep, I'm going to play. And now automatically it did everything before. It made my layers. And now we're in the Gaussian blur section. And here, every image that you do, that you retouch, you are going to have to adjust this accordingly. And so how I like to do this is I'm going to zoom in to the skin right here. So it's nice and big. And if we go left on here, it's more of the original image. If we go all the way to the right, it
mushes everything together.
It mushes. It blends all the colors. And so my rule of thumb is I like to go to the point where I don't see any texture anymore.
Okay.
And all the color on her skin starts to blend together.
Okay.
And so I just see blocks of color, not necessarily texture.
Okay.
So like here, I feel like this is still kind of texture. It's not smooth enough. So we are going to go a little bit more. Right there is maybe like 16.
Okay.
Now we're going to go okay. And now if my action is done. If I turn this off and on, nothing is happening. But that's because we've separated our frequencies and they are now adding together to make one image.
That makes sense.
So we locking in. We're still here, guys. I know that was a lot, but we are actually going to do another action right now.
Woo! Actions.
Sick. So I'm gonna make another one action, or actually I'm gonna turn this one off. To make this action, I'm just, for the sake of it, I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm going to add, and this is just gonna be called blur. This is gonna be in my retouching, and I'm gonna give this one a function key. So,
So you could just hit the.
this means that I could just hit my function 2 key and this action will automatically play.
So like making your own shortcut.
Exactly. It's a shortcut for the shortcut, pretty
Okay.
much. So we're going to record. Yeah, that's what we want. We are just going to go into here and we are going to go to Gaussian blur and we are going to set this one. This one actually does matter. We're going to set this one around like 6. Yeah, right there. So, okay.
Monica says, lights, camera, Photoshop, action.
There we go.
So real.
So real. Now we're going to stop that action. That's it. That's all we needed to do. I'm actually going to delete that layer. I'm going to go back into here, back into, so I'm going to start off in my low frequency layer. I have my lasso tool and I am just going to, with my pen, I'm going to circle around areas that I want to blend together. So that, and I'm going to do my function 2. And now you can't really see what this is doing right now, but I'm going to show you. And I'm clicking that thing 3 or 4 times. I'm circling areas that I want to blend together. And you know, we're going for subtlety, okay? And so we're going.
I'm so interested to see
Yeah.
what's going to happen here.
So if we turn this off and on,
Oh.
it is very,
It's so subtle.
very subtly adjusting the color tone that's happening
So
in
you're-
the skin.
So what you're doing is erasing from the high frequency.
We are
subtracting.
moving the low frequency.
Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
so as you can see right here, if we took off our high frequency,
Okay.
this is our low frequency, and I can even just see, this makes it a little easier to just see what colors we're working with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going in here, and I'm adjusting. I could see that, you know, like right this area right here,
Okay.
my head's kind of blocking it. We have this white area, which I just want to just blend in just a little bit. Here, blending in.
So, okay. You're hitting F2
Yes.
when you're doing this? Okay, so you're adding like that extra blur.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just to the area that's selected.
Right.
And so.
And yeah, it's so subtle because I can't tell the difference until you switch it back and forth.
Yep. So even this is with it off. This
That's
is with it on.
Wow.
So it's very,
Yeah.
very subtle. So yeah.
How do you make it so subtle? Is it like, did you turn like the opaque? Oh, because when you did the action, you made the blur very low.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm doing it
okay.
multiple times, which is doing a low amount of blur every time I click the button, which is good because I want to adjust how much. I don't want just crazy
You have more
blur.
control over
Exactly.
it. Very cool. Jack says hi. Hi, Jack.
What's up, Jack? Cool. So we're just going. We're going to get a little bit of this spot.
Wow.
And then it also is nice too, if I go back onto my brushes, if I go to my patch, I can drag this if I want to be super specific and not just blur it, but
Yeah.
make it look like something else. Then I like to do that. And I'm kind of switching back and forth. I mean, you could do this in the stamp tool.
You are so fast. I love it.
Yeah, and so just imagine me bump into some techno
Yep.
right now or some
Yeah,
Bob
when you're in
Dylan.
like a flow state, just doing your
Exactly.
thing. Wow.
Exactly. I imagine it like from that movie Soul, the Disney movie when they're in their like in the
I
zone.
didn't really see it, but I
didn't
could
see
imagine.
Soul?
I'm not really a Disney
Oh my
girl.
gosh, it's so
Sorry,
good.
Everyone that loves Disney.
No. Yeah, that's what I imagine. So yeah, and I'm doing big circles, I'm doing small
Yeah.
circles, and I'm just very
So this is something that I need for myself.
Sick.
I get like bags under my eyes when I'm tired, which is right now. How do
you fix that?
Yeah, how do I get rid of those?
Got you. So there's a couple different ways which we're gonna look into right now. And so first off, I like to just blend the colors a little bit while still keeping most of the texture.
Yeah.
But with, you know,
Yeah, I'm not
back
trying to look
sometimes.
fake. I just don't want to look tired.
For sure. So there, and then we're actually just gonna zoom out.
Wow.
Nice. And just like that.
Yeah.
And so from here, we are going to, in our high frequency now, we're moving.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to my stamp tool, and I'm gonna bring my opacity down to like 15% or so.
Okay, so pretty
Yep.
low.
So, and even right here, I like to take a little bit below the eyes, and I'm just slightly going over. And then I'll hit some of these areas. And so I'm not, you know, getting rid of all the marks and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just diluting them a little bit. So right there.
Yeah, I love that. Like when you see like a really good retoucher, it still looks like the person. It still looks like they have skin, not like this
Exactly.
like screen over their face. But it's like, I don't even want to say enhanced. It's more of how we see it in real life, because the camera will
Yes.
pick up so much more texture and like
Yeah.
different lighting and things like that versus what I see in real life. Like kind of, you know, you take a picture of yourself, you're like, oh, I look so good today. And then you're like, why are my eyes
totally.
2 different sizes?
Totally. And I think that's
the
just
camera's fault.
That's our brain helping us out a little bit.
No,
when we
it's
just
not
look
helping me
well,
out.
When we look in a mirror, it's like giving us that confidence of like, yeah, we're good. And then technology just ruins that
It's like,
for us.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Sick. So, and I'm also hopping back between my patch tool right now just to get rid of some marks that I might not want exactly, or I want to change.
And this is in the,
High frequency.
so like the texture
Exactly.
layer,
So I'm not
basically.
messing with my colors necessarily, but I'm messing with just the
textures.
texture.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna take my stamp and see it just softens up just a little bit. And I'm gonna go in here
I'm so
actually.
excited to try this, like with my own work. And
Oh yeah,
completely ruin it.
it's a game changer
Like-
for sure.
Like I'll send it to you. It'll be just like a blur.
Yeah.
Like a blur face.
Sick. And then I'm actually gonna come in here. I'm back on the low frequency.
Okay.
And I'm just slightly smoothing everything together. This is also really good for getting out wrinkles, which I would maybe do that on a different frequency separation action so that I can change the opacity, or not opacity, but the blur to make it more
Okay,
blur
yeah.
or less blur.
It's also like material acts differently than skin.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so just going, just blending a little bit. Take the hand down just overall. And then I'll
We have
take this
just
guy.
over 10 minutes left, but you're doing,
Awesome. Yeah,
Great.
we're doing
you're flying through.
sweet. And then even right here, if we want to see our before
Yeah. Wow.
and after.
And you know, it's so crazy because like, you know, I said this before, if you would have just showed me the photo without any of the retouching, I'd be like, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
you make it even more perfect
For
somehow.
sure. And even looking at this from the bottom, so if we take our option key, hold that on the icon of the bottom left image, that original image, we can see what our original image looked like compared to what we have now.
Yeah. Wow.
So with those flyaways, with the frequency separation. And to me personally, this frequency separation is a little too heavy.
Okay.
But I think it's good to go a little on the heavier side
And then
at
you can bring it
100%.
down.
And now we are going to bring down our opacity. And I kind of like to just go back and forth. I think like around the 70%. Looks natural.
Yeah.
And the reason in the beginning when I took out, you know, the spots that I really didn't want, if I did that on the high frequency or the low frequency, then those would come back when I brought down my opacity.
Okay, cool.
But I got those out in the very, very beginning, made another layer, and now we're working off that layer. So it helps a little bit. And then it also doesn't bring out the hair back in opacity,
right,
you
yeah.
know? So yeah, that's looking pretty good for the skin. yeah, it's not perfect, but we're not going for perfect. We're going for real.
Looks perfect. to
And
me.
so from there, we are actually going to make another action. So bonus 3 actions, 1 stream. We are going to make a dodge and burn action. And so for those of you who don't know what dodging and burning is, this is an old time technique that comes all the way from the darkroom in photography. And pretty much when you would be...
Is that why it's called Lightroom?
That's why it's called Lightroom. That's exactly why it's
Listen,
called Lightroom.
I'm not in.
Yep.
I'm not in the photography
So
world.
actually-
I was like, oh.
Funny enough, so in Lightroom Classic, you have the loop, which is the way to look at your images.
Okay.
In the darkroom, you would use a thing called a loop, which was a magnifying glass, to look at your images. Then you also have the develop module, which is as if you're developing the film.
Yeah.
You're developing your images. Then you have
Good job,
You have
Adobe.
Adobe really stepped it
That's
up.
so
with
cute of
like
them.
most people don't know that,
Yeah.
but it's pretty fire actually.
That's actually really.
And so with dodging and
cute.
burning, it's a similar concept where we are taking inspiration from the original photography methods.
Okay.
And dodging is when you are printing a image using an enlarger, and dodging is blocking all the areas of the image except for one little piece with your hand. And that makes it so that the light comes
Like you're
through
dodging the-
only, you're dodging
Dodging the
all
light.
the light so that light only goes on one part, because the more light that goes in on that one part, the brighter the image is.
Monica has like a brain explosion
I
thing
know.
here. I'm like,
Crazy,
me too.
crazy.
Learning
And
a lot.
likewise, if we go on the opposite end and we go to the burn, actually, rephrase that. It's
opposite?
opposite.
Okay.
It's opposite. Because I'm burning more of the image, which makes
Okay.
it darker.
Got it.
It makes it darker. So I'm dodging with my hands, but burning on the area in the middle. That's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So use
So
it.
light and dark.
It's light and dark. And so for dodging, I'm making things brighter. For burning, I'm making things darker.
Okay.
And so we are going to make an action that allows us to do that right now. So
we do have about 5 minutes.
yeah,
Just
we're gonna
letting
do
you
it.
know.
We're gonna do it quick.
Yeah,
we're gonna do
you're
it quick.
good to go.
Yeah.
Just letting you know the
So
time.
we're gonna go start an action. We're gonna dodge and burn. This is gonna be in my retouching. We're gonna record. We are going to go to layer, new, layer, and here we are gonna go to mode, overlay, and when you click overlay, you get this fill with neutral, and we are gonna go okay. We are going to name this one dodge. We are going to do another one, layer, overlay, and we're gonna name this one burn. And then we're gonna make that one underneath. We are going to group these. D plus B. And then we are going to select our dodge. And then we are going to stop it. So now we have action made so that we don't have to go through that process every time. And now as we're looking at this, as we're selected on our dodge, if you push O, you are going to go to this tool right here, which is the dodge and burn tool. So I'm gonna click on my dodge, and I like to select the midtones on my dodge. And any area that I go over with this is going to
Lighten up.
lighten it. So
Oh, it's crazy the subtlety that you use. That when you're doing it, I don't notice it at all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't look like you're doing anything.
exactly.
And then you show the before and after, and I'm like, oh wow, that makes a huge difference.
Exactly. And I'm kind of just going, I'm bringing up under the eyes like we talked about earlier. So we
Yeah.
did a little bit of that work, but now we are going to do a little bit more. And I'm kind of adding almost like highlight to her
Yeah.
a little bit. And so we'll go over the lips a little bit. We're going to go a little smaller, go on the eyes, go on the right side of the eye. And then also I like to add a
Go in
little
the
highlight
hair.
in the hair.
Glossy.
A little gloss on the jewelry, make it shine a little bit. Yep, that's good. Right there,
Wow.
right there, right there. And honestly, I think I might bring this guy up a little bit. And then from there,
Wow.
very
That
subtle.
is-
Very subtle.
But it makes such a big difference.
Yes. And from there, we're going to go to our burn now. And we are going to, I selected my burn tool. And this is also on the midtones. And same concept, but we're going to darken. And so I'm going to darken her arm a little bit. Just because I want the focus to be on her face. Right there. We're going to bring down this guy. Bring down the hand. Go down. In some of the shadow area of the hair, make it feel like there's a little bit more volume.
Do you ever use neural filters for? I'm assuming not for retouching, maybe.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
I like those. Those are just fun for me to play around.
Oh,
with.
yeah, they're great. And then we will add almost like a little bit of contour on the face. And then same on the nose, just very subtle. Emphasize the eyebrows a little bit.
I feel like the way that I would do this is I would think about how I do makeup.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, okay, I'm adding here, 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 and here. Yeah. Ah, wait,
Yep.
do that again.
Yeah.
That looks so
So
good.
here, we'll do a close up
Wow.
just like that.
So
And so it
good.
kind of brings, I feel like the focus is more on her right eye,
Yeah.
but we want to bring focus more to the middle of her face.
middle, yeah.
And that's pretty much what we did. And so
so
I'm even
good.
going to take down the opacity a little and bring it up.
Cool.
And now from there, we have our before
Wow.
and our after.
It's really beautiful.
Before,
You
after.
you should do this for a living. You're really good
I'll
at
think about it. I'll think about it for sure. Yeah.
That's great.
So, and that's pretty much it. I think depending on the image, we can, add a specific mask to curve, maybe bring out the hair even more. We can change the background. We could use Liquify to shape the hair.
Yeah. I mean, we got like 4 minutes left. Is there anything crazy you want to do? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Let me just do, so I'm going to close this guy. I am a huge sucker for grain. Some people don't like grain and they want to get it out of their images. I
No, I
want
love
to
it.
add it. And so,
Very millennial of you.
yeah. So I'm going to add a new layer. So exactly what we did for this. And what this I like to do, I like to add my neutral gray because, non-destructive workflow.
Right.
This doesn't make it so that what I'm about to do is baked on the image, but this makes it so that it's a step above. So if I don't want it later on, I can just delete it.
Got it.
And so from here, I like to convert to my smart filter so that whatever, it's another layer of non-destructive.
Yeah.
And so I like to just go to noise. And then I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And this is a little too heavy for me. I think I'm going to go...
Andrew said, Raymond has a great article on the Career Resource Center if you want to learn more about his journey. And then there's a link.
Yes, Andrew.
Amazing.
I was about to plug that. I was so close. Yes. Thank you, Andrew, for bringing that up. Me and Andrew got to talk a couple weeks ago sort of about my process and about my journey as a photographer and what some of my good client stories are and what some of the hard client stories are.
I like how you don't say bad.
Yeah.
You're like, just hard.
No, all clients are good clients. All clients are good
I
clients.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a really, really great mindset.
Yeah. And so here we just are adding ever so subtly a little bit of grain, which I like grain because one, it adds texture, which huge fan of texture. Andrew knows that. But it also blends together the skin a little bit more.
okay.
Anytime that I was in the high frequency layer and I moved skin and maybe it like looked a little unnatural, the
blends
grain
it
kind of
together.
blends it a little bit more.
Really
So,
cool.
as we could see, here is the full image. Or here, let me go on this side.
Oh, wait. Going the wrong way.
There we go. There we go. And
This looks great.
before,
After.
after. No
Wow.
color, just pixel
That's
moving.
amazing.
Before, after. Let's just see what this looks like with a black background because, you know,
Yeah.
you don't know
You
if
never
someone's
know.
going to be on night mode or dark mode
true.
on their phone.
It looks
And
great.
so, yeah. So
Across the board. Amazing.
that is
Well, thank you so much for this. I feel like I learned a lot. I'm sure everybody else has. And stay tuned. I am up next. I'm not sure who is hosting.
I think Phoebe is.
Phoebe is hosting
Yeah.
me next.
Yep.
And I'm going to be doing part 2 of the illustration that I was working on. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys back here in a couple minutes.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
We're gonna do some custom typography on Adobe Illustrator. I manufactured this hair clip because I love it. I am going to be designing the pre-sale announcement, and I'm gonna be creating some custom type. So, okay, I have like collegiate type, and I'm just gonna write like pre-sale. I am going to create outline the text, and then go to effects. I go to arc. Then I'm gonna stack my warps. That's so much cooler now. I'm going to expand. So I have cutouts of the pencil. I think I want the background to be like a bright blue. I'm gonna give it like a little bit of like a 3D-ish effect.
Okay.
So I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm just gonna start off with white with black stroke, and I'm gonna do the same for this. Maybe the inside of it is it like a green. Gonna duplicate it. There's gonna be a lot of duplication here. This, and then lower the opacity. We have this. So like now it's looking a little bit more 3D with the shadow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like yellow with the blue background might be a pretty good choice.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to turn it into a compound path. Now I'm just gonna draw like a squiggly line. What I'm doing here is just layering the clipping masks.
Oh, that's nice. I like the gradient.
Yeah. I'm just trying to color halftone with this. Let's just see. Well, apparently I know what I'm doing because that looks great. I'm gonna do it like that, just so it's giving it like a slight texture. And I think I still do want to add a stripe. I'm actually going to try the zigzag tool. That's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like the taper on that.
I like to put stars and sparkles in literally everything that I do. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the star tool was just updated to be a live shape. So you can like go like this. Yeah, I'm just adding some stars to the bottom here. The blend tool.
Oh yeah,
Literally,
the blend
it's
tool.
one of my favorite tools ever.
Okay, so now we're starting to get this 3D effect going using the blend tool.
Beautiful. So this becomes pink. Okay, that looks sick. Okay, pencil hair claw. Give it a little bit of a distort. And I do the same thing that I did before.
This is just a shadow you're putting behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love using these to highlight text. I do that a lot in my work
Those are
also.
good call outs, yeah.
Yeah. When they say make it pop, this is what they mean. Bring everything into Express. You could just copy and paste. I should probably put my website on here like that. Perfect. I'm gonna
Hey,
type
there
that
we
one.
go.
Okay, animation.
That's fun.
And like, ooh, right?
Okay.
I want this kind of to just, I mean, when it comes in, can spin.
Oh
That
yes, the
spins,
spin
yeah.
is so good.
I
I
like-
like the spin.
Let's do Bob, but like really slow and really low intensity. Now I'm gonna grab all of them. I'm gonna group them together. I'll bungee them all in. Whoa. Okay, that's
Wow.
fun.
It's cool.
That is cool. We're
I
done
think
for
we're
today.
at time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
thanks for coming.
We did it. So thanks again.
Awesome. Bye.
See ya.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to Adobe Live. We are streaming. I was about to say striving, but we can be both.
We're
streaming and striving.
We're sliving.
We're sliving from San Francisco. I'm Phoebe from Girl Gang Craft, and this is Jess from Chick of All Trade and Women of Type.
Hey,
And
guys.
yeah, we are continuing our project from this morning.
Yeah. I'm excited to get back into it. And if you guys were watching earlier, I'm finally going to get to the charm bracelet. Let's go. Okay.
What we've been waiting for.
It's the moment everyone's been waiting for. So,
Do you want to just tell us like what kind of project you were working on?
yeah, sorry. So I started off with this sketch and I vectorized it. Then I added some color. And now I'm going to create the, the charm bracelet. And then I'm going to add in some textures. And I've actually never played with the mock-up feature before. So we're going to do that too. See how that goes. So let's make the charm bracelet. What I want to do here, nope, not that. What I want to do here is create kind of like a custom brush. So I'm going to make a circle like this. Oops, very small. And instead of it being like kind of beaded, I'm going to remove this, make this a little smaller. There we go, and center everything. And now I'm going to remove the middle, so now it kind of exists like, just like this.
Wow.
Make a couple of those, so now it's just straight up. And then I want to make the, I guess like the chain. Is that what we would call it? Yeah. Yeah, let's call it that. So bring this in and that, whoop, not there, that in. So it looks like it's kind of looped in together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Looks great.
It's, yeah, it works. It works. And I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm gonna duplicate it here and here. So I want to make sure that it's going to work the way that I want it to, which might be a little bit difficult when you are making a custom brush. So I'm gonna grab this, go to brushes, and new, I think it's scatter brush. No, it's not. Maybe pattern brush. Okay. So add space to fit, and we want the middle part to, well, actually the middle part doesn't matter for this. So you can add something there or you cannot, whatever, but it's basically just going to show you how your pieces overlap with each other or not overlap with each other. Scale, again, doesn't matter for this very much. I think this is going to work. Let's try it. There we go. So I think the best way for me to kind of like fix this is to bring this in a bit more, or maybe go like this, because it needs to fit into itself. You know what I mean? So let's try this now. Although I don't hate this as a bracelet.
Yeah.
Like that's actually kind of cute. But
The
that's
different
also,
spacing.
it's what?
With the different spacing, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. But it's not what I was going for, and I want to do what I was trying to do.
If you're just tuning in, you can tell us where you're tuning in from. Have you watched the whole stream this morning or just tuning into this one? We are working on an illustration, a pride illustration, and per our poll, we're gonna work on what? A notebook.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna
Mock
work
up
on
a notebook.
Auto-centered. Is there an approximate path? Stretched, maybe it's stretched to fit. Let's try it. Yeah,
Because you've already drawn it.
yeah,
Interesting.
that's working a little bit better. I'm not gonna get too crazy with it, the way that I would fix it is to make sure that these two paths are evenly, like would connect like this when it comes around. So imagine it like a ribbon, you know, and you want the two ends to connect. There's a way to do it where you're getting really precise. For the sake of time, I'm just not going to do that. But now, if I wanted to create even like, whoop, where'd that go? If I wanted to create like a necklace or something, here we go. We have a custom brush, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So cool.
Yeah, we could do a whole stream on custom brushes. Not today, but you know, in general, we can. So great, we have the bracelet. I'm gonna do a little heart charm and a little peace charm. I'm just gonna use this as the heart charm. And I'll add a stroke. Great. And I'm going to go ahead and grab like this little thing right there and just put it on. There we go. And ta-da! That's the charm. Great. Oh, bring that to the front. Arrange, bring to front. Perfect. And now I want to make a little peace sign. And this one is, should I make it a color? Yeah, I'll make it yellow also, like it's a gold peace sign. Right there. We'll take another one here and angle it. Angle it. Whoops. Transform, reflect. Great. Make this all even. Whoops. Nope. Okay, that's great. And now just make this all one shape. Whoa, what's that thing? Great. So that's the other charm. Amazing.
How do you make it all one shape?
Using the shape builder tool. So let's go back. So these are all different shapes. Select all of these together. This is the shape builder tool here. And I just drag through to highlight the pieces. So if I were to drag through over here, it would add that to the shape builder. But if I hold down Option and you see the minus sign is changing on my mouse, plus, minus, then I can delete pieces.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a real handy tool.
And then what are you doing with the lines? You're just making them not sharp.
I'm just changing up the stroke. So the stroke is like in the, the stroke is on the outside. The stroke is in the middle. Oh no, the stroke is on the inside. The stroke is on the outside. The stroke is in the middle. So I'm bringing it to the outside so it just looks a little bit smoother. And now I'm using just that same little yellow piece as before, and I'm going to group all these together. Group. Great. And I'm going to group this. And then I'm going to send that backwards. Basically hitting Command left bracket a million times until it goes back. Great. Okay, what else did I want to do here? When I left you guys last, a lot of these letters were connected. I disconnected them like during my break, not during your break. And I'm just going to kind of even things out a bit, make it look a little bit more the way that I don't know, envisioned. I don't like the sharp edges. I want things to have like more of a bubbly look. What is going on here? Ooh. Like, what's this? Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like these sharp corner edges. I want to just get rid of those.
And how are you getting rid of
So
the sharp?
I'm using the curvature tool. So if you see here, let's pull this out. So if you see here, this little, oh no. This little dot is not filled in. It has like that other dot in it. If I double click it, then it's fully filled in and then it becomes round. So sharp, round. You just have to double click. And yeah, I'm going around adjusting and moving things around just so I feel better about the look of it all. But I do feel good about, oh, no, this O is looking a little wonky to me.
Yeah, the other O has the Sharpies.
Yeah, I'm going to fix that out. I'm going to hit smooth. There we go. And I'm also going to hit, whoops, hit smooth. And okay, great. I feel good. I feel good about this. Because, like, I don't want it to not look wonky. I just want it to look less wonky, if that makes, you know, if that sounds right. And fix this over here. Great. Oh, yeah, the O over here. It's very sharp. Those sharp edges. Don't like that. And I want to move this over a bit. Cool. Okay. I'm liking how this is looking. Now I want to add in, I think I want to do like some highlights on the bottom of this text. So I know before I said that I don't use layers, but I don't not. So I'm going to, let's do white, this, and I'm not gonna leave it like this. I have some brushes. Let's go to my brush library. I've been using these lately, the Bezier brushes from True Grit Texture Supply. Don't worry, this is not gonna look nearly as scary as it does. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. So let's do 1.5, yeah. Maybe even lower. Let's do like 1.3. Yeah. Yeah, I feel good about that. And we can just keep dragging them along, and don't worry, I'm going to make them correct. 0.13. How's chat doing?
Hello, chat.
Hey, chat.
Hey, chat. We would love to hear from you. Oh, we have hello from the Netherlands.
Oh, hi.
Isis is back.
Nice.
Hello.
Hi, friends.
Woot woot. What's happening?
What's going on?
What are your Illustrator questions?
Yeah, hit me. Hit me with your Illustrator questions. Would love to hear them. And I'm going to duplicate these because they are fine being duplicated, especially if I'm going to stretch them to use them for other pieces, other letters, I should say. Oops, we got that here. And we'll use this one here.
From Morocco.
Cool.
Hello.
I love, like, when people are like, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there, like different countries. One that I've never been to, which I haven't not been to Morocco yet, but also just like countries that are so far from where I am. I'm like, that's really cool. Okay, I added that little thing. Do you guys think it should be yellow?
The highlight?
Yeah. Like, I kind of want it to be more subtle. Like, we can even go with like this gray. Oops. Maybe that. Yeah, that looks better to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to think what else I should do. I want to add some... Oh, I forgot I locked the layer. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this. And also, when you guys weren't looking, I turned this into like their own shapes versus it being two separate pieces like this, like the color being separated. And now I'm going to draw inside of it. How am I going to do that? So glad you asked. Okay, let's grab, you know what? I'm going to do it with warp. So I'm going to create a rectangle. I am going to change the color to the light blue, and I'm going to effect, warp, arc, and we're gonna just go crazy with this. I really really enjoy playing with the warp tools. It's just a lot of fun for me. Let's go this way, bend, great, and now I'm gonna like this.
Nate asks, what is the benefit of turning it into a shape when you added like the color?
It's less less points on your board, but also now I don't have this separated and I can just kind of do a clipping mask versus if it wasn't that. Here, let's use
What's a clipping mask?
I will show you. But I'm going to use this as an example. These are two separate pieces. So these are two layered pieces, which work fine if you're looking at it just like straight up looking at it. But if you want to work with it, let's say I want to change, let's say I wanted to put something in here and make this like a pattern, I would have to separate it, then do that thing, and then come back and layer it again. Actually, it kind of looks cool offset like that. So a clipping mask, and I'm going to give you like a quick example of it. So let's say I have this blue square, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to ruin the square. I don't want to change the square to anything, but I want to have a circle that is a blue square. I want to have a circle that is a blue color. Whoa, sorry.
I want a circle that is a blue square.
No. I want a color that is the blue, that is this blue, but I don't want to change any properties of this. I don't want to be destructive. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll make a circle right above it, select both of them, make clipping mask. And now everything inside of here is inside the clipping mask. Another way to look at it would be, okay, make this circle, and I'm gonna select everything in here, including that thing on top. Well, oh, there was something else on top. Hold on. Let me get rid of these. These are on a top layer. So basically, whatever is your top layer is what the mask is going to be made out of. What's going on? Hold on. This is a bad example. This is not a good example. Make clipping mask. There we go. So you could do it with an image, and now it stays within the bounds of the circle.
Got it.
And it exists outwardly, so like if you want to cut it, it's still there. It still exists. You don't have to worry about it being destructed.
The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist, exactly. So I'm going to make a clipping mask. Whoa.
Nate says circle, squares, got it.
Yes, exactly.
We're talking about all topics here today, y'all. We are talking about race car driving. We're talking about circle, squares, limitless. What is that?
So this was...
Trig.
Oh, trigonometry? Oh, no, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Okay. I just wanted to do like a cute little stripe going through. I thought that was fun. And now I'm going to add some texture. And some of you guys might be like, what? Adding texture in Illustrator? That's crazy. Some might say it's crazy. I say if you have the right tools, it isn't. So there are a couple of ways that you could do this. You can make your own brush, which I'm going to show you guys how again, but like you really don't have to do that. So, whoops, I don't want to be using that one. How do I go back? Let's go back to, okay. So let's do like bunch of dots here, and let's go ahead and make this, nope. Let's make this even smaller. I'm just adding a bunch of dots. Bear with me. And let's make it, let's do 0.15, even more. They could be overlapping, they cannot, they could be not overlapping, whatever.
Are we designing chicken pox?
No, I'm showing you guys how to do a custom textured brush. I have brushes that I purchased, but if you don't want to purchase them, you can make them yourself. So now we have this, and I'm going to, let's make it, whoops. Hold on. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. I don't know if this is gonna work actually. No. Okay. I'm gonna drag this into the pattern brush. Okay. Scale, no spacing, 0%. Great. So now, let's say I want to add some texture. I'm like, okay, I do this. And now I have like, you need to play around with it a bit, but now you have the ability to create, will that change? No, I have to change it within the brush. Now you have the ability to, method, is it tints and shades? Let's see if that'll work. Apply to strokes. Yeah, there we go. So now I have the ability to create different textures. There's a lot more to it than just what I showed you, obviously, because this is a bit sloppy. But I wanted to show you that one, it's something that you can do pretty easily. But let's move forward because I have brushes that are proper. These stipple brushes, great. I want to do like stipple shadows from the bottom up. So I'm going to do draw inside. And now when I
draw inside so it doesn't like come out.
Yeah, so you're kind of creating a clipping mask. It's a different way of creating a clipping mask. Whoops. So we're in there now. And I have this, and now I could just play around and move this shading as I please. Which is, I think, great. Yeah, I like the one that I had before. What was that? And like, let's make it a little smaller. 0.75. That's good for me. And we can just... And let's see if I play with the opacity, overlay. There we go. Oops. It's already giving it some more dimension, some more depth.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like that.
And you've just played with, so you kept the same color though.
What do you mean?
Where did that red color come from?
Oh, so this is a black stroke, but the layer opacity is on overlay. So depending on the, so if you see, if I click on this, it's actually black, but the opacity layer is overlay. So if I do lighten, it won't necessarily show up. Exclusion, color, it'll change depending on the layer, the color that's layered under and the color that you are using. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you can use that black on the whole thing and
Yes.
it'll automatically change it based on the color.
So now I changed it to white, so you see it's not working the same way. Overlay looks significantly different. But yeah.
That's cool. Nate says, can you use the appearance panel and modify the chicken box, for example, and add a drop shadow or something for texture?
I don't, can you use the appearance panel to modify the chicken pox and add a drop shadow or something for texture? I think you can do anything to these. Like, here, let's try. These are considered to be strokes right now. No, that's the align, not the appearance panel. Appearance bar, appearance panel. Okay. Let's see. Let's do fill 0, great. I don't think that it's allowing me because it's multiple pieces, but let's see if let's do expand appearance. Okay. So we added a stroke, and then we're going to add, no, sorry, not another stroke. Now we're gonna add, do I remember correctly? Duplicated and offset. I think I need to add a fill. And let's do this purple. Duplicate this. I'm gonna get rid of the, whoops. Get rid of that. And then I'm gonna have to offset everything. So let's do distort and transform. Copies. Okay, let's just do 3.
Well,
Okay, let's try this and see if it works. Okay. I can't imagine that it wouldn't work. Yeah, it'll work. You could see it. You could see it here. So. Woo! Cool. Never tried it because I never had a reason to, but good to know that it works. I actually really like to do that with text a lot. So, I mean, I'm getting off track here, but if I wanted to write pride.
I'm going to use that as a brush.
Yeah, but like, okay, we'll use this and let's get rid of this. Now, appearance panel, we're going to add fill and we're going to add okay, and then we want to do, we're going to duplicate this. I know we're like going off track, but I feel like this is such an important thing for people to know how to do. The appearance panel is very powerful. Transform, let's do, okay, let's do 5 copies. And we'll do vertical, down. Okay, so it looks like this, which is great because, by the way, now this is live text. But I don't think if you wanted to turn this into a brush, you can. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. Let's try that. Pattern brush? No, I can't. It contains text. So I would have to outline it, create outlines, and then bring it here. Okay, great. And now I'm like, oh, you know what? I want it to go like this, to be wiggly. Like, let's, wait, where did my, oh, here's my pride brush. Great. Which you're like, oh, that looks weird. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because I did it wrong. So we would change that to I think it would be art brush or calligraphy brush. Yeah, it would be art brush. Okay. So now you could change it to whatever you want it, like whatever fun angles you want it to be. Anyway, just a little bit off topic, but fun stuff that you could do with the appearance panel and with type and creating brushes. Okay, moving along. Let's add more texture. Thank you. Let's get back on track. Get my head in the game. Okay, I'm going to copy that. And now we are going to draw inside. And I'm just going to paste. And then bring it up. And delete the extra points that I do not need. Great. Here we go.
Looking good over the wheel.
Thanks. I'm a mechanic. I know so much about cars. Just kidding. I don't know anything about cars except for they drive me to and fro.
To and fro. Anyone have any questions about Illustrator? We have an expert on our hands. I'm learning so much, and I hope you are too.
You guys better be learning. That's all I gotta say. Or else. Okay.
What is your show about on Tuesdays?
It's on Tuesdays, yeah. It's called Making Decisions, and it is the show where design decisions need to be made, and I don't make any of them. The audience does. You guys are the art directors, which is a lot of fun for me, and a lot of fun for the audience, honestly. We have a good time.
What kind of decisions are they making for you?
So the audience actually gets to decide what program I work in. So usually from the episode before, really big on polls, as I was talking about earlier. The audience gets to decide if I'm working in Photoshop, Illustrator, or Project Neo. If you guys have not tried Project Neo yet, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's browser-based, Adobe's browser-based 3D app workflow thing, and It is currently in beta, but it's also currently free. And who knows how long it's going to be free, so get on that. And yeah, the audience is my art director in this show, and it's a good time. We make a lot of silly things, and it's fun for the whole family. Let's say that.
And will that be going on all summer?
It better be. Adobe. I think but from my understanding, yes, it is currently indefinitely, but if that changes, I'll just be sad, whatever. Fine.
And what kind of decisions does the audience help you make?
So usually, like, the colors, obviously the color palette, the fonts, the layout, if I'm doing like a little character illustration, what the character is. Sometimes something that we've been doing has been I forgot what I was gonna call it. We've been doing speed runs. So it's like, okay, tell me what's in front of you. I'm going to illustrate it in 30 seconds, 90 seconds, 5 minutes, and then we just see how everything looks at the end. Sometimes it looks great. Sometimes it looks real silly. And that is the fun part of it, just doing like a speed run of my workflow. We have the spinning wheel of death that we spin, and the spinning wheel of death is not actually scary. It's just, it helps us decide when we can't all decide, like, different fonts and colors and things like that. It honestly is a very good time, and we have a great community going on there. And we're also in the Discord. If who's our mod today? Let's see, Idara. If you are able to drop the Discord channel for making decisions, please do. Love to see you guys there, and you guys can help me make decisions.
And so people are just participating in the chat to help you make your decisions?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, not even help me. Like, I have to listen to them, basically. Legally, I have to listen to them.
Legally.
Yeah. And I'm going to
And you stream from your home.
I stream from my home, which is fun.
Do your dogs make an appearance?
Oh, the dogs make more than an appearance. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're both pugs, and they snort very loud. And as Jacob so beautifully put it one time, Stanley is public enemy #1 in the Adobe Live world.
Oh. Too many sounds.
He's snoring all the time.
Just background noise.
Yeah.
Too
but
much.
it's cute. It's cute, honestly. He's an adorable, perfect. No, he's perfect. Or I'm unprofessional. Is that what we were going for? He's a good boy.
Does he help make the decisions?
I used to have Puggy Cam.
Okay.
For those who remember, it ended up being something else. Basically, the dogs showed their butts to everybody on camera. So we haven't done the Puggy Cam in a while.
Problematic.
Yeah.
Risque.
Very risque. It was written up in the newspaper the next day. Everyone was talking about it. The paparazzi wouldn't leave us alone.
Drama.
Yeah, lots of drama. Got lots of making decisions drama happening. So, we needed to take a break from the Puggy Cam. That's all. But we have it in a simpler capacity now, where I have more control on what my dogs show to the camera, basically. Okay. Whoops. Okay, here. And I'm going to continue this in here and then actually just erase. Oh, whoa. Because I don't want this to be... Like, I'm trying to make the shadow not on the thumb. But I guess some of it is showing, but that's okay. I could live with it. Yeah, I could live with it. I do want to lower the opacity a bit. It's like a bit too bright for me. So let's bring that down to like 30. Yeah, that's a lot better. Great. And we will bring that in there. Perfect. Great. Cool. I basically want to add texture over all of this, but I'm a little bit worried that it won't work out the way that I want, but let's see. Because if I do, let's bring that all the way up. And now I wonder if I grab this and make this all one shape. And now I can create a clipping mask, as we learned earlier. And now it's all in there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe that's what I'll do with the rest of them instead of drawing inside. Might be a bit easier. Okay, so I'll make a duplicate of this. Whoops.
Why do you make duplicates, just in case?
So I can make a clipping mask afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll make my life that much easier. Actually bring this around here. So I don't want it as much. And let's bring that down to, let's see, 2.5. Yeah, that looks good. Whoops. Nice. Okay. How's everyone feeling?
Looking good. Love the lips.
Thanks.
Lipstick looks good.
Thanks.
I like how the shadow just goes through 3 different colors seamlessly.
Yeah. That's I don't know if I would call it a trick, but that is my trick for getting shadows to kind of like work on everything, and you don't really have to worry about what's happening with it. Oh, what'd I do there? Oh, I know what I did. So because this is not one piece, it exists as 2 pieces, and I could do one of 2 things. I can either do what I did before and make it one solid piece, which is what I will do, or I can go to Object, Compound Path, Make. When I do that, it changes the colors, but it's basically just acting as if this is one path. So I still would be able to do a clipping mask, but that doesn't make sense because I don't need this to be in multiple pieces in order to do that clipping mask. An instance where I would need that is with type, and I use those compound paths a lot when I'm working with type for that specific reason. Duplicate this again, and I should just keep this up here so I can continue grabbing it whenever I need. Great. And this does not need to be that high. Let's put that on 0.5. Cool. And let's chaotically get it to be one shape. There again, there's an easier, better way to do this, but I like being crazy, so we're gonna do it.
What did you just do?
It's just the shape builder thing that I did, but instead of, like, I could have just done, where is it? I could have used the Pathfinder tool and just done that instead. But you know, I'm not bothered by the chaos. I'm good with it. And make clipping. Nope. What happened? What happened again? Let's see. Is it group? No. Why would it be a group? Bring that to front. What's going on here? Transform. You know what? Let's try this. Oh, I see. I accidentally have this. So let's get rid of these. Here and here. That should do it. Make clipping mask. There we go. Great. Cool. And I'm going to grab this again. We're going to do copy. Draw inside. And I'm just gonna leave it, I think across, whoa, I think across the bottom there. Looks good. And I don't know about the exhaust. I can't, I don't know.
Yasir says, would have loved if a smoke illustration was out from the car in behind with the flag colors or something.
Wait, oh, like the smoke
Like
is
the smoke is the flag. That'd be cool.
That is cool. I could probably do that. Let me finish up some more stuff and then let's see if I'm able to do it. I feel pretty confident that I could.
The blue looks nice too, though.
Thanks. And I'm gonna bring this to, why is it not? Interesting. Okay, let's see. I don't know why this isn't doing the thing I want it to, but we'll find out. Let's bring that down to 4. And maybe this is overlay. Interesting. Very interesting how this is acting. Normal. Huh. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna take that down a bit. Cool. Let's see. Let's do this to the heart as well. Do inside. And maybe we can add some gradients because with the Illustrator update, the gradients are also like super smooth, super fast. Just working beautifully, actually. Let's bring that up. Oh, you know what? No, just kidding. I don't want to bring that up. I have to flip this. That's what was going wrong. Okay. So if you see the different side of the grain, I essentially did it backwards. There we go. Nice. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Very happy. You know what? Let's go all the way around. Let's go all the way around here. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'm gonna copy. Ugh, I keep clicking. I'm gonna get rid of the background for now because I keep clicking into it. And now we're going to go inside here, paste, and just, there we go. Now we can just modify it to make it fit inside this heart because I drew those differently. And I wonder how, ooh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna change that, yeah. Okay, cool. What else can we do? What else can we add texture on? I feel like it'll be kind of annoying to add texture onto this green, so I'm going to add a gradient instead. So let's add this and that and this one. Where's my, oh, here. Okay, great. So we have this palette going now. And it's so subtle, but I kind of like it like that. You know? Or that's kind of cool too if I do it as a radial. Let's see how it looks. Like I don't mind it.
Yeah,
actually.
I like it because it's kind of like a highlight.
Yeah. Just doing like its own thing, which is pretty cool. Do that with the leaves as well. Yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, maybe I'm biased because it's my own work, but I'm a fan. Cool. And let's see.
Do you want to do like a gradient for the lightning bolt things?
Oh, yeah, what colors are you thinking?
Like a little bit of the yellow or a little bit of the pink with white?
Yeah,
I don't
that could
know.
be cool. So let's do, or what about if it's like yellow and pink?
Yeah.
See how that looks. Oops, oh, it's not the right color. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, it's maybe too much.
Yeah. That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd I do? What'd I do? See the stand background. I have to lock it. Okay. I like that. That looks great.
Do you want something for the is for everyone, or you want to keep that white?
I was thinking maybe even like,
That could be.
I don't
pretty
know.
with
There's
the yellow.
something that I'm not loving about how like the Pride looks. It's like almost too dark. So I might change this up to do not that. Let's do like the lighter blue. Whoa, what is going on? Oh, because I have the, got it. The lighter blue. And then we could do the darker blue. Hold on. And let's see how this goes. See how that looks. No.
It's like very stripy.
It's just not working for me. It's just not working. Chat, what's working for you? Because it isn't working for me.
Help us make a decision.
Let's make decisions. It's time. We're making decisions to the standard Adobe Live. I could live with this though. Yeah, it's just like too dark, I think. Well, maybe without the texture, it looks okay. And then
Maybe it's a contrast with the white too. That is for everyone.
it could be. Maybe the is for everyone. Whoops. Could be the same,
Could be a gradient.
but like bring this down a bit. Or
That's dark too.
yeah. Does that look better? I really can't tell. What if I did this white and this white? Like, does that do anything? No, it doesn't. Also, hold on. Now that let's hold on. Let's do this.
Now we did something.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the blend mode, what I talked about before. So I am duplicating the word Pride, I'm sending it to the back, and I am selecting both of them. And then I am going to Object, Blend, Blend Options, Specify Distance, and I'm changing that number to a 0. You can have specified distance between layers, you can have smooth color or specified steps. You could use any one of these. They will all work and give you the same result. It's just a matter of how you use it. I like using specified difference, and I'm hitting OK. Oh, that didn't do anything. Right, because I didn't hit make. I have to apply it that way. And now we have this, which is cool. I don't know if I like the color necessarily. But I'm okay with, oh, that's cool. But I don't think it goes with what we're trying to do here, you know?
We do have only about 5 minutes left.
Oh my God, that went by so fast.
So fast. I don't know if you want to do the mock-up.
Let's do the mock-up. Wow, that went by crazy fast. Okay, so the notebook one.
Notebook 1.
Notebook one, okay. Wow. Let's do how mock-up?
So they have options, yeah. I don't know if they have a notebook.
Packaging, apparel, digital devices. Oh, that's cool.
So they only have like a few. So you can also pull out, this is what I know about.
Yeah.
A PNG from like the internet, and then you have to rasterize it.
Okay. I have to, wait, I would have to rasterize it in order to use it in here? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna, oh wait.
It takes 2 seconds.
No, not rasterize. Did you mean, it's already a raster image.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't
would-
working when I just pulled just a regular PNG.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's put it on here, and then you guys can hit me up on. Oh wait, is that a notebook?
Oh, wait.
Hold on, I got the spinning wheel of death.
There you go.
Yeah, because it was doing it for me.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
cool. I really like that. It's a little bit fuzzy right now. My computer, I don't know if it's just fuzzy for me or fuzzy for you guys, but I like that I can just kind of see. That's so cute. Wait, what? I could just go. This is a computer issue, just so you guys know. This is like a user computer issue. I need to basically restart it. It hasn't been restarted in probably like 2 months. I don't know the last time I shut my computer off. But that's really cool and really cute. But I really wanted it in a tote, and I'm surprised that it hadn't. That's not what won. Monica said, Jess is so good with type. Who knew, right? Who knew? It's almost as if that's my whole thing. Oh, Nate said, this has been fun and educational. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that.
I just don't love the brown tote.
I don't love the brown tote
Yeah.
either, but let's imagine that it was like a bleached tote. And I'm a fan, honestly. This is very cute. Okay, let's put this to the side for a second. Let's see what else they have. Oh, okay, that was all of them for the branding. What about like digital device? I saw you did the mock-up before on.
Yeah, so I
this.
just pulled in some PNGs from the internet.
Oh, for your mock-ups.
Yeah, and then you
Okay,
can
got
save
it.
them as a template too, which is cool.
I also wonder if I do, hold on, let me go to my library. If I like save this as, okay, it's not an image, it's not a logo, but let's just put it there for a second. Add it to my library. Give it a second. Okay, if I place this here, can I use this? Like, will this work as a mock-up as an image, or does it need to be my vector? I don't know which one it's showing me. That's cute though.
Yeah,
That is pretty cute.
if you just need an image on your Apple Watch.
Yeah. Oh no, that's. Well, I haven't used my Apple Watch in forever, but like people have like backgrounds
Like a
on their watches
screensaver,
or
yeah.
stuff. But okay,
Yeah.
no, this is the vector. I think I would have to like redo the mock-up.
Oh, you're saying if like a PNG that you saved
Yeah.
can work as mock? I think it has a vector.
Interesting.
But I
create a
could be
mock-up
wrong.
with your image. Okay. Well, I don't know. I really like it. I think it's cute. I mean, if you guys are interested in this as like a phone background, I could turn it into that as well. If we had time, I would show you how to do that on Adobe Express because that's a one-click situation right there. But basically, it would look like this. And then I would have it available in different colors for everyone. How nice.
I do like the light pink too.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks for watching.
Where can we find you?
You could find me at Chick of All Trade and at Women of Type and chickofalltrade.com, womenoftype.com. My phone number is, just kidding. Yeah, hit me up on all those things if you have any questions, if you just want to say hi, if you want to insult me, don't. And that's all.
And we have one more stream after this at, right after this.
What time is it? It's 1
Yeah,
p.m.
it's 1 o'clock.
Pacific, so
Like,
whatever time it is in your town.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
See you later. Bye.